Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave. I just timed it just before the end of the song, which, yeah, okay, I was close. So welcome to the show, welcome to the campaign. My name is Karsh Goblin. We are doing our Children of the Marsh show today. It's great to be back with these guys and girls, well, these guys, because it's just an all-male cast, so I'm not specifically saying anything to anyone. No, that would be wrong. This is our 15th episode of the show. It's getting along. It's kind of a different show compared to what normal shows you would have. The show's basis is around having young characters starting their adventures, starting their adventuring career. We've started with 0 level characters of around 14 to 17 year olds. They're still about the same age, although we have had one birthday party in game and in show. And they're just like, they're exploring and they're getting more and more confident, and they built into their classes. So it's kind of a different look on the adventuring side of things. Instead of starting, I'm a hero, I'm super powerful, I'm already good. No, there's more development into that and building into that adventuring career. So we'll cross across to all our adventures and say hello to everybody. Hello. Every cast does things differently, and it fails pretty much across the board in every cast. So it's okay. It's totally professionals here.
All good.
Yes, totally professionals. All
I think we
good.
nailed that one, actually.
We are always professionals. We are always perfect.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
no idea what we're talking about. So, talking about professionalism, thanks for joining us, Zero. Thanks for understanding it's the right day of the week. Totally professionals, yes. So we'll do our introductions, then we've got to do a bit of housekeeping, and then we'll do a kind of a what happened last week. Whoa! Thank you for the donation. Hope you are not
Thanks,
dead,
Fox.
Asteria.
I hope I'm not dead. Comes back and finds out I'm dead. Just like, okay, guys, bye. I'll see you next week.
I love the little rip with the coming out of the grave. It's great. Let's see if we can convert Asteria into a necromancer. That would be awesome.
God.
So before we do the actual intros, we'll explain what that if you donate to the channel, that you can actually help the players or hinder them through your donations. Every donation of 100 bits or per $1, each player will get, or the player selected with hashtag player name or character name, etc., they get a chat dice. It starts at D4, goes all the way up to D12. Each dollar donation or per 100 bits donation increases the value, and it escalates from one from the other. So we're currently sitting on D6, who Typo had that. And I say had because now we take that away from Typo and give a D8.
That's okay.
And we give a D8
I didn't need it last session, actually. Roll pretty well.
So,
Hey.
there we go.
Glad to be back.
May or may not be dead.
May or may not be. I hope I'm not.
I don't know.
I come back in and I'm dead. I'm rising from the dead to kill you personally.
Revenants.
Great.
They're a bit overpowered, but maybe later in the game. Maybe like level 9, level 10 for Revenants. So that's how the donations work. That was one of the housekeeping stuff. So let's go to our introductions, and then we'll go back to the other housekeeping. Then we'll do the... Anyway, let's go. So, Typo?
Hello, everybody. My name's Typo, or at least that's the screen name. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, morning, whatever, what have you. I'm going to be playing Explosia Lulu as usual. So I'm going to ruin my vocal cords. I hope you come along for the ride.
And you're ruining it for the audience, so...
I know you love that annoying high-pitched voice.
It's growing on me, but I do turn the volume down. Specifically. Zero?
Yeah, I am Zero. Today is Tuesday. Thankfully, I got a calendar. I didn't, but this time I remembered. I'll be playing Hunter, who hopefully is still alive. Somehow acquired a longsword. I can't remember doing that, but maybe I'm just stealing things in my sleep now. That'd be very much in character.
Yeah, that is
Huh?
in character.
So I am Arcade Fox or Fox, and I play Beresford Ferret Raleigh, or Ferret, and I actually know how Hunter got that longsword. And to be real honest, I wish someone would teach me how to use a longsword. Because I am really not good with that. But also my diplomacy is okay at best. So, we're fine.
Absolute garbage.
Other than that, that is our, sailor.
Down.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm
He's just like
Capri
hung off
Sunny.
of nowhere. It's like, sailor.
I am playing our introverted cleric until you mess with his friends, and then he doesn't like you very much at all. I too know how he got the long sword, and I'm glad that the two that were not here last week are back, because Edric was very uncomfortable being the one that had to speak to certain things. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. then.
Just like casually rolling that ball to the next person.
Gonna have to get into that military system of over.
Hey everyone, I'm Nier. I'm feeling much better than last week, where I was in my bed crying myself to sleep because I had such a bad migraine.
Oof.
Not doing that tonight. I play Asteria, our I don't even know what to call her at this point. She's like a knowledge seeker, but she likes also burning people alive every now and then.
Optimistic pyro.
She's an optimistic, like personality. Just she might also be a fire starter. Just so you know. Maybe watch out for if you have any burning flammable things on you. You included.
Yes.
Like flesh, yeah.
Skin is included. Yes.
Everything's included there.
Skin, hair, cats.
What?
Familiars.
Just wear flame retardant, like fabrics. I'm sorry. It's not my fault.
Yeah. So specifically for this campaign, and actually not just for this campaign, but also for our campaign yesterday, we do have a new emote. We've got our friendly fire emote finally unlocked. Well, it's not unlocked. We just brought in early and dropped one of the old ones because I really like the friendly fire emote. So we've got that in chat for our tier 1 subscribers, and it is September, so half price tier 1 subs for new members. Gifting is still full price. But if you do a tier 1 sub, you actually, we get the full price of it. We get what we would normally get anyway. So it costs you less. Twitch is essentially not taking their commission for the month, and it helps us out immensely to have more subscribers, people that want to actually help the channel and donate to the channel. And it just means, it means a lot to us, really a lot to us, as well as the normal donations as well that come through. So yeah, and thank you for this sub.
Wow.
Zero. On top of that, we've also got our sub badges for the actual length that you've been subscribed to the channel. So finally got off the butt to have our sub badges, and if anyone can tell me why they are that color, I will gift them a free sub. No, nobody. No.
Wait,
Already
I,
sub.
what? I was
You
not
already
listening. I'm
subbed.
sorry.
That's not the foggiest.
Yeah. There's a reason why the Twitch why the dice are blue for our sub badges. But anyway, the other housekeeping that we've got is that so we've got a couple more. Sorry. The other housekeeping we've got is we use Syrinscape for our audio, so our intro music, our outro music, and there'll be background music throughout the show. We use Syrinscape because I think it's amazing. I think it's actually the best things on the market. They're not a sponsor. I would love for them to sponsor, because I really, really am proud of what they do. They're an Australian company. They back up most of the really big name shows because they are just that good. And we're using the specific Ghost of Salt Marsh sound set. So they've just released the Danger of Dunwater sound set and a few of the other bits and pieces. They are really, really cool. And so a lot of the stuff that you'll be listening to is actually specifically for this campaign. They've got other campaigns which they support, and they've got a lot of generic sounds and sound sets which they support. So anything from fantasy to modern day to sci-fi, horror, it's all covered. Check them out. There's lots of different ways of payments and billing and structures that are suitable for pretty much most people. And it's not just for online role-playing. You can download it to a phone, or you can play it off the web, and you can take it to your normal face-to-face in real life tabletop games. And also board games too. Keep on forgetting they do board games with the whole system. So yeah. And the other piece of housekeeping is we've got a merch store. We're essentially selling our merch at cost because I just want to have these designs out there. I think the designs are amazing. We use Fart Some Art for the artwork on this channel. For at least this... So, for this show, we use Fart Some Art. Our overlays are done by Cat Roulette, but Fart Some Art is all the character design and the tokens that we use, because I think Nikki's got an amazing art style and has done really amazing for these character arts. So I'm actually wearing the first printings of these designs. So I've actually got the shirt on here, and so I'm wearing it for the first day for the show. So I would have done that yesterday for the Goblin show, but I bought a green Goblin shirt and didn't think about the green screen, and I would have disappeared. So that was bad. That was smart.
A little bit.
So I actually had to do my jacket up because, otherwise my neck was disappearing.
You don't want to just be a floating head?
I know Stream doesn't have that, but Stream just has the disembodied head on the screen. It really freaks me out because I watch them often. But anyway.
I don't know, I feel like that'd be kind of cool to see the Game Master just being a floating head.
But you wear the full face mask, so it's just the eyes. Just the eyes on the screen.
There you go. That's happening one day on here. Halloween.
Very
Halloween.
creepy.
It's happening.
I'm from Australia. We don't do Halloween. So
I'm sorry. For all of Halloween, I will be dressing up with wigs and everything.
I know.
It's the best.
Do it.
I'm actually planning for Halloween dressing up as Maeva. So
I would expect nothing less.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all our housekeeping. We have a tradition here of having the last time on actually read out by our characters in character. So by our cast members in character. And it moves between people pretty much all the time. It was Explosia last week, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And seeing Capri wasn't here earlier because she was on the phone and is just hiding at the moment to get around because Capri doesn't like to do this. It's fallen to Fox because our other two cast members weren't actually here, so we couldn't do last time. So
it'll be good because it'll be fair. It's the first time.
Is that why I was turned around?
Okay, fair. Face the camera screen. Okay, there you go. We're ready? You're on.
All right. Well, today didn't go as expected at all. I had to go talk with some bigwigs and the others. Like, we were talking and they did not understand where I was getting at about the cost of human life and what it, if they aren't going to risk their guards, and they're going to risk our lives, well, we need to get paid more. But they didn't get that. And, I just want more money because, well, more money means I can do what I want with it. But they sent us, on this task to go be diplomatic with, some of those lizard folk. Yeah, that was a thing. So we rode in a boat for a while, and I didn't even get to tell the people run the boat how to run the boat. They wouldn't listen to me either. But we found our way. We get into this sloppy, muddy area. We start walking around and get attacked by some big lizard-like things. And as we do, we attempt to beat the crap out of them. And as we do, we kind of fall short. I am really good with my hand axe. That is what I am like prime on. But I was taking out some of these left and right, and we had a few people that were chipping away at them, and I would eventually beat them one-handed. Get it? Hand axe one-handed. It's fine. It's fine. You don't get it. I did see Hunter, fail to attack something by reaching down to the mud and grabbing something. It was a sword of sorts, but it was all dirty and covered in mud. But yes, that's what he does. He doesn't realize that we could die in the moment that he's grabbing an item out of the mud. And then more lizard men came. They were there. They, were also going to attack us. And being all diplomatic and whatnot, Explosia sat there and, got us out of a pickle. And we went and talked with the leaders of this group, having to leave our weapons behind because, gosh forbid that we hold on to weapons while we go talk to their leader. But, it's fine. It's fine. But we go talk to their leader and find out that we have a potential mutual enemy between us. These, I don't know, it's an S word. I think it's like sanguines or something like that. We have mutual enemies apparently, and Explosia was doing some sort of diplomacy, and after that things got hairy, and near, and by near I mean Asteria took the fall for us and died. And so no, I'm just kidding. She didn't actually die. But yeah, to which we are today.
Okay. So missed a few things in there. The people that you meet, the important people, were the actual council, the town council. Concerned about the possible threat of an unknown group of possible lizardmen in the area, being armed and purchasing modern. Well, I say modern. I'm not talking about AK-47s and things like that or handguns. It was raised last week. I mean more advanced weaponry like swords, like steel weapons and things like that. of which was found in the ship that you've raided and kind of stole from as well. Yes, I'm looking at you, Zero. There was yes. You stole from the yes, which meant that they didn't have as much evidence, which makes things even worse. So you're essentially asked to do a few things and asked to do certain things. After the meeting, each of you also received a note. Now, because 2 people were here, there's 2 people that need to receive a note. I'm just going to have to find them now. It's under my stuff area.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody received a note, like as in everyone's received a note. So everyone's got certain thing. So Asteria, Near, this is for you. It's called DD Asteria, and Hunter. There we go. And so I'm going to put these up on the screen as well. So this is for yourself. So after the meeting with essentially the council, like everyone was kind of like talking to people about bits and pieces and going through maps and going through stuff. So you found yourself essentially separated from each other as people were going through things individually. And during this time, certain people may have said certain things to you. Hunter, that's for you, and Hysteria, you've got your own one as well. So they're unlocked and should be in your journals if you can have a quick read of those. So, as I said, everyone's kind of got their own things going on. Whether they follow them or not, that's up to them. As for the fighting of the lizardmen, there was a giant mud pit. You decided to go into what was actually a back entrance to the lizardman lair, and or less used entrance. The area is incredibly muddy, and a large group of trained lizards guards attacked you. And during the fight, Hunter found something essentially buried under the mud. Hunter was kind of stuck at the edge of combat but not in combat in one of the rounds, and found something with his foot and dug it up and essentially put it in his backpack. And that was the sword which is on your character sheet, which is actually not on your character sheet because it's all been given, all the weapons you have, except for, of course, some of your small cutlery, which is easily hidden, because we pretty much ruled that Hunter is totally not going to give away all his weapons, totally going to just keep some of his weapons, because that's what Hunter would do. So, yes. Probably the ornate elven dagger, which I've just noticed on your character sheet as well, would have been handed over, though. So I think that's about everything. You met with the Queen, or you were essentially arrested, put in the jail, and then you met with the Queen, and you've been given 24 hours. 24 hours to prove yourself worthy of an alliance, and you need to speak to the others around the place to essentially prove what you can do for them. Negotiations was a bit haphazard or two-sided, maybe. Diplomatic and not diplomatic.
Diplomatic and ferret.
Well, I'm speaking of Explosia and ferret in the two contexts.
Edric helped.
Edric did help a little bit, yes. But it was very...
I mean, in all reality, I'm pretty sure all I did is say that you should speak instead of ferret.
I'm sure that was clutch.
Yeah. So pretty
You also
haphazard.
reminded me of this Hagen.
Oh,
Because
yes.
Explosive did not know what the Sahagin were.
Oh, yes. So while you're in jail, there was another individual next to Edric, I believe next to Edric, yes, who was asking to be released and asking for help. Claimed to be a Titan, and you've later found out that it wasn't a Titan but a Sahagin. And you've also found out that apparently Sahagin seemed to be the enemy of the Lizardmen, but you don't really know why. Some of you know that Sahagin are essentially sea devils. They are the big baddies of the sea, very militant, etc., but and very aggressive. But some of you don't really know much about them at all. Like Explosia, Asteria may know a little bit from books, but not really a lot physical. But again, you don't know why these are the enemies. You haven't gotten that far. You've got 24 hours to actually find out what's going on and to negotiate with different groups and different factions. And how it works is you have every negotiation will take about 3 hours. And if a person, you need to make your arguments, and your charisma check will be up and down for your persuasions, etc., or intimidations if you go that route. If you fail that roll, you can't then try again with that person. If you're assisting a roll, you can do that to get an advantage, but if you again fail that roll, both you can't assist or can't work again on that same individual or that same faction. So this is a case where you may have to split up, or you may have to help each other, and you may have to try to converse of what's going to be, how things are going to work, and who's going to approach who. I think the current alignment was offering weapons was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there wasn't really much reinforcement of ideas of what the humans can do, the humans of Sandpoint can do.
Yeah, they basically said we can't swim and go fight them ourselves. So why would we care to partner with you?
All their arguments were, you have 2 legs, you can't swim. You're stuck on the land. This is most likely going to be in the sea. So
yeah,
there is possible counters you can do, but that'll be left to you. So you retire, or you've got the option to start exploring, or you've got the option to go back to your cells, and it is cells, to start working on what you want to do, what the plan is going to be.
Okay. Explosive would like to pull everyone to the side and talk to them briefly.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment of privacy, kinda.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. Good to see that you, Hunter, and Asteria are feeling a little bit more salient. So, about this whole deal with the lizard men. Now, we were sent here on a mission to be diplomatic. I'm curious, are we all on the same page with that?
that's what we were sent
I
here for. Yeah.
assume so. I think.
Well, I just wanted to just check because I got a missive from a Mr. Manistrad. He wanted these threats to Salt Marsh removed.
She wanted.
She wanted. My bad. She wanted these threats from Salt Marsh removed, and was offering about the 150 gold to do so. Now,
Interesting.
as tempting as the extra money would be, given our goal, I don't know. I've just been looking at the numbers, and I mean, I'm no military expert like my sister, but I can tell our odds in an all-out fight against these would not be good.
Got a letter like that too.
Oh, you did?
You guys
Welgar.
got a letter about fighting them?
Yes.
Welgar did.
Not letters. This was conversations. They were
yeah,
conversations. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Welgar pulled me aside and essentially asked me to cleanse the area of pagans.
Ooh.
Well, I can't believe this. They're trying to turn us against each other. How rude.
Aleander asked me to be very diplomatic, to
Oh, we
not
did
have
that.
bloodshed.
Does anybody have anything from like the merchants? Perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get anything.
Well, the reason I bring this up is that, well, I do know I'm not very good at the details of finances, but I do understand the idea of trade theory, and it may behoove us to strike a deal with these lizard men, and then we may be rewarded by the Traders Guild. I mean, I'm certain that they would like to provide a new large clientele.
It's probably fair.
I mean,
So-
it could be a way to be diplomatic.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that'd be a diplomatic option, but it also might be like, well, the whole conversation about kill them all and then you'll get money gave me idea of what I believe the commoners refer to as a side hustle. So, like, we've got an extra angle that we can go in for extra money too.
I mean, I guess, yeah, in a way.
So, yes, we just need to figure out how to get a good trade deal going, and then we might be able to get some extra coin from them.
So, like, be diplomatic, but also be like a merchant and, like, make trade.
Exactly, that's the way I like.
So
I mean,
to
it could
be
work.
the middleman?
Perhaps. I mean, if we returned back to Marsh and say, hey guys, we got a new trade deal for you, I'm pretty sure they'd be rather happy and be willing to talk to us.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like that's partially why we're here anyway.
Exactly.
Now,
They just wanted us to go like, hey, don't make sure that they're not going to like attack Saltmarsh, and we come back, we're going, hey guys, we might have some, if you're willing to talk to us and pay us perhaps a little bit of money, we'll be willing to hook you up with a trade deal with these lizard people, because we got in their good graces.
now, just clarifying. So, you got something saying, you were told about, 150 gold to kill them all. You were told about 150 gold to kill the pagans. Was anybody else offered that additional gold? Like,
It
you
was
were
only 100, but I mean, he should have known that I would never do that anyway.
Mine was just 50, just to be nice.
Oh, is he giving you money just to like? That's so adorable.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of like, hey, we're being diplomatic and not really fighting. So, not as much effort, I guess, in a way, because you're not fighting.
Yeah, I believe so. No, it's like giving somebody a gold star almost.
Well, I
it's
mean,
like
I
your
have
other
plenty
dad.
of gold stars to give. It's just usually they're in the form of magic, and they usually burn people's faces off.
You do burn a lot of faces off. Anyhow, we should probably get back to business.
So, are we splitting up into groups then?
Then we'd probably cover the most territory that way.
I mean, how many people do we have to talk to?
Don't we have to talk to 6?
Think
Wasn't
so.
it a council of 6 people that we had to convince?
If you'd like to know the factions, if that's what you're asking for, just tracking them down here. So factions. Also, if you see right down the bottom, directly underneath me, right down the bottom, there's something called Lizard Folk Influence. Actions that play out will change that number. The players shouldn't be watching the actual live stream to see that, but that should be there. Should be in chat and pause it. But it's there. So certain things, yeah. So there's the commoners. There's the other lizard folk, the shamans. There's the queen, her chief advisor, and then there's 3 other factions, which are the merfolk, the Locathar, which I'm probably Locatha and the Coalinth.
So 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
What,
where
what
is
was
this
the first
list?
one of the other 3?
Where's this list?
Well, I'm reading the list.
Oh, okay.
Started with
Yeah,
M.
I just counted it.
Yeah.
So it's 8.
So there's commoners, other lizard folk, shamans, the Locketh,
Oh, Lakatha.
Other lizard folk. That sounds kind of lizardous.
Merfolk, Colinth, and these are those 3 are the emissaries. There is Chief Advisor,
And the Queen.
and Queen.
Okay, so yeah.
You don't think you'll be
7.
able to go back to the Queen
Okay.
until you start speaking to everybody else, and the Queen's probably going to be the last person once, because you've already had an
Yep.
attempt on the Queen, and things didn't go probably as good as you thought. Or at least you would like.
Merfolk? Are the merfolk like mermaids? Or are they like lizards that are merpeople?
Mermaids.
Oh, they're merfolk. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to go see mermaids.
I want to go see the mermaids too.
Asteria wants to befriend a mermaid.
So the merfolk, the Coalinth, and the Locatha, they're delegations from other
So
groups.
what are the Locatha and Coalinth? Like, what are they?
Do you want a picture, do you? Always wanting pictures.
Sure.
Let's see.
Would we be able to tell, like, status, like, by how they look, as far as like which ones we would think would be more noble, like, or have more money, or because obviously commoners are commoners
Okay.
that will have a representative.
Yeah. So
Other lizard folk are an other category.
from what you've seen, there's certainly sergeants. Like you can generally see as you pass through, you've seen commoners in here. Like you can kind of tell who the commoners are. You can see who the soldiers are and who the sergeants are of each of them are. They're called scale shields, and they're usually the bigger ones. Like with a shield and whatnot. And they seem to be the ones that have been equipped with the more modern weaponry, or the civilized, better weaponry so far. You've also seen what looks to be the shamans. You can identify them now that you've seen kind of what they are. You have an understanding of them. You would probably have to be directed to the advisor, and you'll need to know where the delegations are. But she did say to speak with the delegations and the others, and essentially she'll get reports back.
So we're going to be meeting with them individually, not as like an overall group.
Individually.
Well, but we can go as pairs of 2.
Yeah, I'm
to
not talking
help.
about us. I'm talking about them, like
Right.
a council in front of you versus talking to each group
Mhm.
individually. Okay.
I'm just going to try to get the... Yeah. Okay. So I can get a handout for that one, and I'm getting the handouts for the others too.
Yeah.
They've got a handout.
Given the fact that Explosia can speak Draconic, and most of the other characters can't, I think we may have to hit some of the like whoever's with me is going to have to hit some of the other lizard folk. Explosia is definitely going to go see the merfolk first because she's got priorities here.
Okay. So
What language do merfolk speak? Aquan?
Yeah, Aquan would probably do.
I'm thinking primordial, since that would be like the language of elements.
Yeah, that's Aquan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So the
Oh.
Lokotha.
They're kind of cute.
Yeah, it's like a
the-
pug.
Think
Like
of a merman, which is more fish than a merfolk.
They're so
So-
cute.
A mermaid, which is
Mhm.
more fish than human. But yes, they are super
Okay.
super cute.
Well, let's not go super cute here.
I think they're
They're-
super cute.
They're like cute, weird, like fishy pugs, and I love them.
The merfolk, well, mermaids
They're so
essentially.
beautiful.
So they are
Beautiful.
what they are. And the other one is kind of the exception. The Colinth.
Good luck, guys. You're going to go talk to the
So,
That's not mine.
can I get a like for those seamen? That sounds really bad.
Mhm.
For those with experience in the sea or
Yep.
book knowledge, can I probably get a history or a or just like that type of role? So from Mysteria or from Ferret.
Okay.
Oh, my history is not great, but
Yeah.
I did not roll good.
Okay.
I mean,
Wait, I have important. What am I thinking? I can turn that into a 16. Never mind.
Did you
I
want to
don't
turn that
think
into
we
a
need
16?
it right now.
Or do you want
Yes.
to turn your negotiations into a 16 later?
I'll turn it to a 13.
With
And then
13?
it'll be +5, so 18.
+5. You realize, wait a sec, there's another group which you know are from the sea and are not present in these delegations. You don't know why, but the sea elves aren't there.
Like the one that we helped.
Weird. I wonder why
Interesting.
sea elves aren't in there.
So they've got sea creatures, like civilized sea creatures in their delegations, like meeting, but the sea elves aren't there.
Maybe we'll have to like dig into that. I don't know why the sea elves wouldn't be there.
Maybe it's a sore subject. I don't know. We could probably. It might be best to ask if there's going to be some sort of thing like that. Perhaps it'd be best to ask the other races rather than the lizard folk.
Probably. Maybe like the merfolk or maybe the I don't know, the Lokotha.
I
Is that how you say their
agree.
name? I
We
think
should
that's how you
ask
say
the merfolk right now.
I mean, if they're in the sea and they swim, I mean, I'd assume like maybe they would know something more.
Okay.
I still think that we should leave the Coalinth to the boys. I don't really. I mean, they look cool, and I would like to study them, but also it'd be kind of rude while we're doing a diplomatic thing, and they also are kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, from the sound of like how you're describing them, I just think the boys would be better at this. I mean, it's like that. There's got that like masculine ferocity.
They probably like somebody who's like as ferocious as them to appear. Probably not the two dainty girls over here who don't really look like they.
I
could
think they'll look at
put
me
up a fight.
once and mistake me for a marshmallow. That's what I'm afraid of. Okay,
You
I'll
guys don't
admit
have to try so hard, you know. You can. We get the point.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just I
Oh, so
like
you
living.
agree. Good luck, guys.
Good luck, Ferret. Have fun.
Yeah.
So,
That's so mean.
okay. So you're not given an escort. You're told you say you can explore the place. You know that half of the location essentially is blocked by a gate. And when you're exploring around the place, you can't find these delegations, and like you do know there's a couple of people that do speak common, like the common language, and the scale shields, the sergeants, as well as the shamans, have spoken this, and so you are essentially ask them, and all the delegations are on the other side of the gates. So I'm going to move everybody's characters to that side, if that's where everybody's going to be on that side. Essentially what happens is you have to wait at the gate for a patrol to come through to open the gate for you, and then they close
Okay.
it after you pass.
Okay then.
And everything's actually on the GM layer, but I'll unlock those.
Boop.
The 50 is not actually.
Also, I do have 2 free languages to take at some point, so I
You
guess I'll
do.
take Primordial.
That's a really
'Cause-
good one.
Primordial sounds like it'd be a good one for the situation of all the water people around.
Yeah.
I would suggest Aquan instead of Primordial.
Primordial,
Primordial-
is Aquan.
Is
Yeah.
in 5e the covering of all 4 because they
Um,
didn't want to separate them out anymore.
Remember, this is built off first edition. So
True.
we're talking first edition. Aquan is the language of the water.
Okay,
so-
then I mean I'll just take
yeah.
Aquan.
Okay.
Trying to get that to their GM layer. Give her the numbers. So yeah, this is where you are. Essentially, the expanse in this area, it seems to be somehow linked to the ocean outside, and there's a path that leads around. It's a very open cavern. The ceiling's about 30, even 40 feet at times. That it expanses out, and it's not very well lit. But I'm assuming you've got light sources with you, because we don't need to go through all that. Because I know most of you can use light. The water here, at the water here at this edge, I'll go through there at the edge. You can see some merfolk swimming around, and they seem to be talking to each other. And in the distance, you can see other creatures further around near the corner of the room. So it is what it is. What would you like to do?
Attack!
Someone's getting their bonus.
I don't think I
Kill
can
all
attack
the
here,
pagans!
guys. Throws fire at the water creature like, yes, burn! You don't burn in the water.
Wouldn't that be something?
Guys, I don't think they're burning. I think it's backfiring actually.
Hey, Asteria, I think I spotted the head mermaid. They have a slightly different border around them.
Did
that
they?
one.
Is it that one? Is it that one?
Don't know. Call it a hunch.
Oh, I know. I mean, they just seem like they're very in charge.
Exactly. They have an aura to them almost. And they look a little bit larger than the others too. I mean, it's zoomed up on them.
One might say it's like a barrier just around them at all times.
I was wondering if anyone was going to first aid.
That's for Hunter.
Ah.
Yay!
Now, reluctantly, I'll try to heal Ferret.
Thank you.
They're like,
Reluctantly.
because they're not really healthy
go.
after the fight. The fight was pretty serious. Could have been worse, but yeah.
And your health bars
Oh.
moved about the same amount with 5 and 10, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, which like instantly tells me who's the new tank.
Yeah.
The non-AC tank.
The non-AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Just a
it's-
pile of hit
tanks.
points.
I'm
Oh
just-
yeah. There's hit points, and then there's AC, and it's good to have both. It's not good to have one and not the other.
Okay, one's
Yeah,
the
you
shield,
know-
the other one's the meat shield. How about that?
Past level 5, you want saving throws too, though.
But that's hard to fix with armor.
True. Can't take 10 levels of multi-class to monk.
All right, I guess you guys are handling the mermaids, yeah? Merfolk.
What gave you
Yep.
that impression? Yes.
Based on the fact that I studied a lot of things, Karsh, is there like any appropriate offerings to offer to these people in like a,
Yeah.
hey, we're diplomats and we're here to like talk about things. Is there
Ex-
something that
Explosive will help.
I think offering them a cheesy bun is not going to work.
if I offered like, I don't know, because they're merfolk and they actually have, fingers like us. We have silver ring. Could I offer that? Yeah, it's real silver
Insight
and not
check.
just fake.
Insight.
Insight. Hmm.
Insight.
Okay, it's
uh,
not something I'm good at, guys.
I'll be helping you, I
no,
guess.
no. This is his thinking of. Oh no, I can say that you're in discussion together of should we offer them
Yeah.
this? Okay, yeah. That's probably something
Okay.
that works.
That's what I was looking for. Is like, as we're walking and talking, like, what the heck are we doing? What should we offer? Should we offer something? Is that what you do?
Are we able to find anything from a cultural perspective?
That's a 10.
You don't think there's anything wrong with offering them something which will corrode in salt water? You
Okay.
don't see anything wrong because the 10's not enough.
Yeah.
Explosia and Asteria would like. I'd like us to like just take a second to gather our knowledge about the merfolk. Just like, okay, what do we know about these merfolk? What's their culture? What's their customs? Are there any major faux pas that we have to worry about? Because I've done that a lot.
I mean, I did research into them. So
Fair enough. And I've done plenty of diplomatic information studies.
I mean, they're very graceful creatures.
It's quite
So-
literally my only talent. I'm crying on the inside.
Ferret,
Uh,
would you like to take the lead?
I mean, they seem nice.
Yeah.
They look a little odd, but So, being that I do not speak that language, I want to like wave and be like, "Hello." Was that offensive?
It was very rude.
Well, that's just it. You just don't know. You don't know what is offensive and what is not. Just trying to find the.
Ferret, what are these things again? Ferret? What are they?
These are I think the Lockethats.
Look at
I can always roll
Well,
a
look
history
at
check
that.
to see what I
Look.
know.
Yeah, it's that L word.
the look at
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Look at-
that. Yep.
look at that.
Yep. That's
Okay.
it. Just say that, and I'm sure they will love you.
Look
There
at
we go.
the
The
look
cute
at
ones.
the
quick,
As
the
you
cute ones.
yeah, the cute ones. As you approach it's like some of them. Well, you get their you've gotten their attention, and you can see things slithering under the water that seem to be guarding the area. But one of the sea creatures comes up close to essentially the dock or the stairs, and comes and says, "Ah, you're new to here. You're not part of the are you a new delegation? What are you?"
No, what? We're here as
Humans.
humans from Salt Marsh, and we're here to make friends and trade and hope you guys help each other for the future.
Is Saltmarsh a shipwreck?
No, it is a city like
A city under the water? Wow.
no, above the water. Above the water. So like we're
Next to the water.
land, on land.
How do you breathe?
We're we breathe on land. Surprisingly.
That's wrong.
Right, I agree. We can't breathe underwater. It's weird. But we do. We are beings that breathe above water on land.
We've developed to be able to hold our breaths, but we don't really breathe. We still need to be around water. But sometimes we need to cross from one river to another, or from one area to another, and it's uncomfortable to be on the land for too long. We're not really built for it. Our legs are
That is-
much shorter than yours.
That is the exact opposite of us.
And
We are able to breathe on land, but when we go into water, we got to hold our breath until we get back on land.
Mm-hmm.
he's looking at your legs and like, what is that on your legs? Have you grown a external skeleton to protect your legs to walk on land?
Yeah, we just have different
Looking at your boots, that is.
body types.
Mhm.
Yeah, like we have an internal skeleton with skin. It's weird. I know, it's
Ah.
different.
We don't float on the land, so our feet always touch the ground, and there's bad stuff on the ground, so the boots protect our feet from the
Oh, so
bad
that,
stuff
Right.
on the ground.
that's external.
Yeah.
That's not yours. That's not part of your skin. Okay.
No, no.
No.
It's protection.
Wouldn't that feel heavy and weighty, and it'd make it very hard to swim.
A little bit.
It is.
A little bit.
Then how do you move around?
We become stronger to be able to deal with the extra weight. Some people, like my friend over here, and I tap Mr. Shining Armor, has a lot of extra weight.
My, that would.
Yeah.
He would sink quite badly.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
no. If you threw him in, he would go down.
Yeah, you want
I'm
to
not-
see?
No, no,
yes,
no, no,
please.
don't please.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a pretty decent swimmer, but it would definitely be cool.
Maybe a
So-
different time.
Oh.
So I am Ferret. This is Hunter. That is Edric, and we are here to become friends and potentially, future trading partners or something. And I
Okay.
want to whisper to Edric and be like, "This is what we're supposed to say, right? Like, is this the plan?"
As far as I know,
All right, great.
I think you're doing
So-
okay for now.
So you're not here for the, you're not here to fight the Sahogan? You're not here for the threat? I thought we were
are
all here for the Sahogan.
We are here to help with the threat in whatever
By sinking.
way we can without, dying underwater.
Well, if you hold your breath when you're sinking, you can last a little bit longer. Well, that's so I've heard.
That is true, but not enough for a battle, I don't think.
Maybe we should talk about the weapons.
Oh, yeah. We have additional weapons that we can help supply to fight the Sahagan. I don't know what you're used to as far as weapons.
I'm looking at what they've. Yeah. You can say that some of them have spears and yeah, essentially spears is what they've got.
It's like roughly made out of like wood from
Mhm.
shipwrecks and stuff.
Stone, things like that. Things that won't
Okay.
rust.
Right.
Yeah. Although
Right.
stone can be still ultra sharp, so
I mean, we can help supply like swords and javelins
we're,
if that's interest to you.
we're a peaceful race. Why would we want swords and javelins? And
Well, to fight the Sahagan, as you said.
oh, but we're here to help with the alliance because we can't fight the Sahogan ourselves. We're trying to help with the other races. We're a peaceful people, but the Sahogan are a threat. Not just for the lizard folk here. They've taken the lizard folk's old house, but they are a far-reaching threat. If they get even more established, who knows where they could be or what they could do.
Right. I agree. So, how can we help you help defeat this threat?
Kill the Sahogan, or at least ask them to leave, but they won't leave. They'll probably eat you if you ask them to leave. Can you ask them to leave?
Are they only in
I-
the water?
It's hard to say. They are a water race, but they can, like you, can breathe in air. Strange, but they've taken over the lair of the lizard folk. Not this one, but this used to be their old lair, but they moved out of here into a new lair, and then they've lost that recently, or kind of recent. It's complicated, but although the lair, like the fortress, was above ground, it seems to be sinking. So it may be above
Okay.
ground, it may be below ground.
So portions may be above, portions may be below.
Like here.
All right. Right, exactly. I'm sure we could make a trip to go talk to them. I mean, we are more than happy to help you, help us, help you.
Oh, I would like that. They will eat you, and they won't come after. They won't eat us.
Wait,
Until they're
I-
hungry again.
True, but
but
that's a
I
little
don't
bit of
want to be
delay.
eaten.
We don't want to be eaten either. I thought you were
Well,
willing to help.
right. We are willing to help, but
Then you can go
I don't
talk to
think
them. Thank
anyone
you.
has to be eaten. All right, Hunter, I think we have a task on our hands.
What is it?
Apparently, we're going to go talk to the Sahagin.
We're not gonna talk to them. We're gonna kill them. Right?
Okay.
That's what
Sure.
this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the bad guys.
Quick question. Can you point us or like show us a map or something how to get to the other layer so that we can go take care of the Sahagin for you?
The explanation starts, and you're not following it. And then you realize that the reason why you're not following the explanation, although it's using terms you understand, the terms are not land-based terms or nautical terms, but rather currents and the like as a location, because that's how they know. That's how they base their navigation on. They navigate through current instead. So
Can you draw a map for us?
I
Wait,
did
we're
show
getting
you
ahead of ourselves.
Their finned arms, did I not? They don't have heads. Pretty sure.
Can one of you lead
We're
us
getting
there?
Ferret. No. Would you guys be opposed to us helping everyone take care of the threat? Destroy it, fight it, whatever needs to be done. We can help. You guys are on board with that?
If you can do anything, that would be great. If you can take the place of the coral length and feed the Sahorkan, then we would greatly accept you.
Wait,
Take the place of the who?
wait, you want to feed the Koalan to the Sahagin?
May I interject?
Yes, you can
Yes.
interject.
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to say is that not to take the place of someone, but to form an alliance with the Koalanth. And since the
Ooh.
Sahagin can breathe above and below water, then there is a place where we can help. If the alliance were to attack from the sea and they were to run to land, we can fight them. And if we fight them and they try to escape to the sea, we have, the Koalanth or someone else there to help so they can't get away from either side.
I don't think you would be able to make an alliance with the Koalanth. Even the Queen couldn't make an alliance with them, They don't like people.
Well, I just mean anybody that is willing to fight from the sea.
Oh, I understand. Yes. The Covenant are not nice people, though.
Yeah, that's just who they brought up. So
They're
I just
what
figure
you would
that's who they're
call-
using to fight.
And like they're what you would call in things for a moment. That's the word. Hobgoblins of the sea. They don't like people, but they are fierce warriors. They would feed the Sahorgan well.
Do you, by chance, have anything that could additionally help us defeat the Sahagin? Like anything that, if we're going to go into battle with them, that you'd be able to lend help to us since we're lending help to you?
Oh, we have our friends. Like a lot of the ocean are our friends. Being a peaceful culture, a lot of the creatures like us, and they'll do things for us if asked politely. So we have some protections, but those protections, well, even our race would not be able to stand up against the might of the Sahorgan. They are a truly scary
Oh, yeah.
group.
Well, if we, gathered more information on how we are to approach the Sahagins, if we requested the assistance of your friends of the sea, would you be able to talk to them to potentially help us if we had a solid plan?
We've agreed to help the Queen, and if you're a part of the alliance against the Sahorgan, then we'll be helping you as well. But at the moment, our agreement extends to and assist in any battle that comes. So that will be happening no matter what.
Great. Well,
At the moment, the
it was
Queen.
nice. It was nice talking with you guys. You guys are good folk.
So to break it down, what is the offer that you're offering them?
Help.
We are
so I heard of-
protecting them from the Sahagin by going into battle.
Okay.
If they can assist us with
With a
going
formed
into
alliance.
battle.
Yeah. So
Not necessarily them by our side fighting,
Right.
Yeah.
but
But
just knowing that
Yeah.
there could be protection from land as well if we can find somebody else to help fight from the sea.
Yeah. So that's the argument. The land-based attack, should they flee
Yep.
from the sea to the land. Okay. Who wants to make the primary role and who's assisting? I will point out that if you fail, you can't. That person can't then do negotiations with this group again, and the assistant also cannot make any more
are
checks
we
against this person.
making
Yeah, they weren't here for the rules.
a persuasion? I'm
This
guessing?
will- how you negotiated would be was a persuasion style. If you're aggressive, then it would have been intimidation. If you're deceptive, then it would have been that instead.
Smack
I'm-
them around, intimidate
I am
them.
not the best at it to
You
where
did the
I will
primary
help.
negotiations and talking, though.
Okay, well, I
which
will
puts you
need
into
help.
that.
I'd say Capri was pretty helpful there, so
Yes.
Alright. Alright.
But
Yeah, I don't have any
think-
bonuses to mine either. So
I have
Alright.
some bonus.
okay,
So,
then it's
yeah.
either you roll by yourself or the two of us will roll together.
I think
I
it's one person
need
gets
assistance.
advantage to the other
Yes.
person.
So
So one person get.
I think
if you're helping, the primary roller will then get advantage on the roll.
yeah, I guess since you said I did the most talking, I will go ahead and roll that.
Yeah.
And then I'll give
Uh,
you advantage for this
Yeah,
one.
you can, but yeah.
That way he can come
Alright.
back for 10 with
Mhm.
somebody else advantage
Yep.
with his bonus.
So there's numbers we're looking for.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
20, natural 20 is definitely a high enough number. Even if you're plus 2, 22. They say that they'll support you in your petition to the Queen to join the alliance. So
All right.
we've got one.
Give me 5, brother.
Bam. And that's the first high five I've ever gotten from him.
That was out of character.
Oh, well, I will then turn back to them and be like, "Oh, I guess I can talk to some people. It's just not humans."
Oh boy.
Fair enough.
So let's go back to the girls. The girls in front of the mermen, the merfolk.
Okay. So, what's first? Can we make a history check to see what we know about the merfolk culture?
Yeah.
What they might have to offer as well?
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Help hysteria, go!
yeah, we're basically pulling our knowledge, but I've probably read a lot about anything naval based and sea based and adventure based, and pretty much
Yeah.
I read.
Remember?
And Exposia is helping with her knowledge of how, like, what would be valuable in diplomacy and whatnot.
Yes. So you can do assisted role in this one.
Oh,
Glad we burnt that 20.
That's
I know everything.
So,
Oh my gosh, we've been obsessing about merfolk, apparently.
I told you we are on the cover of Aquamarine.
Yeah.
This is our life now.
We're just like looking at each other, holding hands, like, this is our moment.
So the merfolk would be a proud oceanic race, strong, an old race, similar to that of the sea elves, but where the sea elves have certainly more come from land to the sea and adapted. The merfolk are a sea based that have adapted to being more humanoid form.
Okay.
So great strength. Wouldn't really know. There wouldn't be much even in a history book, even for 20 of their military or anything like that. But honor and culture would be primary to them.
Okay.
Is probably
It's very strong, proud, and honor bound.
yeah. Similar to that, which would be something like a sea elf.
Okay.
But again, sea elves aren't here.
Gotta figure that one out.
Yeah.
Merfolk might be the best one to ask. Don't ask the Covalent. I feel like they would not like them.
Yeah.
They look
Yep.
like angry people.
Yep.
Does not sound like a good thing.
Okay. So, do we know what language they primarily speak?
Aquan.
Are they known for speaking Common as well, though?
I believe they
not
have adapted
really.
to
Okay.
like this. I think they've adapted to land, but they usually speak probably their natural language, which
Yes.
would be Aquan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But adapted to land, they don't have legs, so they are very much sea-based.
Yeah.
Compared to the sea elves,
Okay.
which do have legs, and therefore Oceanus did have broken common.
Okay.
Well, I
guess
think you're going to have to take the lead a little bit on this, Asteria.
So I was just gonna look at her like, so I'll talk, but
Oh,
also
yes.
you can translate and with me. Like, you tell me what to say, I translate, like that kind of thing.
You have a spell that would allow me to, understand at least. A ritual spell, perhaps, that you could prepare.
Beforehand.
Actually, yes.
You do have that?
Okay.
She's gonna just lay a hand on you as she speaks in some kind of other language that you really don't understand. And as she speaks in this kind of magic of starry light kind of shimmers between her and you just start to understand she's speaking in this kind of elegant, graceful, watery language of Aquan. As she's gonna cast comprehend language on you.
Oh, how wonderful! Okay, can they understand me with this language?
You understand literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand.
No.
You don't speak it, but you understand everything. So you know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying. You just don't have a way of saying it yourself.
Good. That at least will help me back you up.
Yeah, you'll understand the conversation without having to kind of listen to me translate back and forth everywhere.
Okay. Well, we've talked about what we need to do with these guys. I'm assuming we did that like in character. Now, let's go forward.
Also, I feel like honor bound and prideful and
Yeah.
Charlotte, maybe we don't offer a gift because that feels like kind of like slimy in a way. Like offering them something to get something in return seems kind of like not the right thing to do in honor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're peacefully singing in the water.
Oh, I love this.
They're so peaceful and beautiful. I almost hate to interrupt. They're so pretty.
I hope we make a good first impression. Okay. Good luck, Asteria. I've got your back.
Okay. Just gonna talk in Aquan and be like, "Greetings. We're Asteria and Explosia. We come from Salt Marsh. We're here to discuss diplomatic matters with you guys. I would ask, what is your name?" Looking at the one directly in front of her.
You had to do the name, didn't you? No, I hate that.
I would have assumed that the leader one.
I mean,
actually,
it seems like the best option to be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm giving you my name. Let's be friends.
I know.
Let's
yeah.
go right out to the names." Unlike the boys who just kind of go, "Sup."
Sup, bros?
I mean,
What
we get
up?
the name of the fishy guy that looks just like every other fishy guy, so we won't know which one it is.
Lauren.
the one with the token.
Lauren.
It's what? Lauren? Lauren.
Oh.
Okay.
I like that name.
Well, it's so pretty.
You can see it's even spelled pretty.
It's even misspelled, yes.
Everything about them is pretty. That's the girl's assumption is everything is pretty. They're morphle. They're pretty.
I'm jealous, and I'm actually literally sparkling right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Google. Quick search done. So, yeah, introduce yourself as Lauren.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Lauren. Are
And
you...
You are?
Oh, Asterian Explosia again. We're from
Explosia
Saltmarsh.
Lulu. Explosia knows that one word will get through.
It's a name.
Yeah.
Does a little bow.
I can only. Oh, you should probably explain that I can only hear what they're saying. I can't speak it, so that they don't think I'm like just intentionally trying to talk to you in a different language. Because that'd be incredibly rude.
So, I actually have studied Aquan. My friend here has not, so she's here to help me, but she can only understand you guys. She can't actually speak with me.
Nods.
Explosia nods.
And Lauren nods.
I've heard that you guys are all here for... I'm guessing it's sort of everyone joining together to take down the Swagan? Is that it?
To remove the threat from the area, yes.
Mhm.
They have established themselves, and when Zohorgan establish themselves in an area, it is usually dire for the peaceful races of that area.
Yes, very so. We're here to try and offer our assistance and form an alliance with everyone that we can to try and band together to take down them, or at the very least maybe persuade them to leave.
Persuasion, and you hear one of the merfolk at the back start giggling, but they're hiding it, and they just duck under the water and swim off. So I don't think they're willing to leave peacefully.
I kind of assumed so, but at the very least, we have the option of trying, and if it fails, if we're all banded together, I mean, they're going to have
Lucy
to...
is not shaking her head. Or you said we are trying. This like shaking head from everything Edric has told her about this Ahogan. There's no peaceful option.
It's like, we are
And
willing
this
to
is Explosia
try.
saying there's no peaceful option.
We're willing to try.
Think of Zohorgan as a D&D version of a race of
Oh, I know.
piranhas.
I fought. I played an Out of the Abyss at one point. I fought them. They're very mean. They're not nice.
Yeah. An intelligent race of piranhas with legs and arms, yeah.
Okay, good, great. Just like, at the very least, even if we can't persuade them, if we're banded together as a army, we could easily maybe force them away without having to fight. And if it comes to blows, all of us can band together to take care of the threat before it grows exponentially.
I think easily is not going to be anything to do with whatever we end up planning. They are already strong. They were able to remove the lizardmen from their land, and it's probably more reinforced than it was before. So the threat is real, and it is not going to be an easy operation no matter what happens. Even if everyone here bands together, even with the Coalinth, if they joined, it still would not have been easy. It would have been a hard fight with them.
I have a question. We have a number of soldiers, but we suffer the weakness that we can't breathe underwater. However, I'm
Yes, that
curious
is a
as to whether
weakness.
We're also going to assume that it's just I'm translating.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to translate everything.
we have the weakness that we can breathe underwater. However, I do know that there are magics that allow you to breathe underwater. Do the merfolk possess any of these?
It is not really
Magics that
something
could grant
we
a
would
human.
use. But if we
Wait.
have a diplomat in our cities, then it has been known to create a livable space for them.
I see. Well, if you're capable of granting water breathing temporarily to humans, then perhaps we could offer you more soldiers in your fight against these.
Oh, I don't mean water breathing. I mean an actual space where they can live in a house.
Oh, okay.
Which has
I see.
air and an atmosphere that they were more used to.
I know of magic that can do what we are discussing, but I would need maybe some form of getting a hold of it to actually learn it myself, and I could apply it to us maybe.
Perhaps you
Yes.
speak to land dwelling races instead of a sea dwelling race for something like that. Yes, we don't need to adapt, so we would not have developed that idea even.
I see.
The lizardmen are technically land dwelling mostly, but
But they can
they
also breathe.
swim a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, can they breathe underwater, or can they just hold their breath a long time?
They can hold their breath a long, long time.
Okay, yeah, I thought
Yeah.
so. So the deep sea fighting actually would be difficult for them too. So they might actually have some water breathing for when they have to go deep down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, we actually might be able to discuss that with the shamans. Thank you, though. We apologize for asking a few questions. We came here not fully aware of the Sahagan threat yet, so we're trying to get the full bearing before we, come in with all the. We want to understand what exactly the threat is before we have to deal with it.
The threat is that they've moved into this area. Well, not this area specifically, but that we believe that they, well, from what I've been told and what we've investigated, that they removed this civilization from their home, from their fortress, and they have set up base, reinforced it, and started their spread. And that spread will only get worse unless they are dealt with early and quickly and entirely. Otherwise, they
Understood.
will continue to breed and continue to kill. And if your
okay,
culture
understood.
has anything to do with the oceans, then your culture may have an issue. As in fishing village.
Yes, we come from a fishing village. We come from a fishing village with a relatively powerful navy, so we could offer some support on the top of this. At the top of the seas, though, we could only offer so many soldiers beneath the seas. However, we do have an excellent mining company that can produce a number of ores to create weapons.
Weapons are always useful in war, but will those weapons be deteriorated in the water?
I
Well,
can also
they
myself provide
deteriorate-
magic.
Well, weapons deteriorate in water, but only after a time.
But have you ever fought in water? You need specific weapons.
Yes, the village of Saltmarsh is capable of sea combat, at least with the use of harpoons, spears, and even crossbows that fired into the water.
As we know of harpoon and whaling, getting rid of those, well, killing those beautiful, majestic creatures. The humans tend to overexploit, and she starts rallying off Greenpeace style on etc. on that subject.
Yes, and the sea princes are particularly bad about it.
You have
Explosive
princes
says-
of the sea.
They call themselves princes of the sea. They act as if they rule the land. I mean, they rule the oceans, but they do not. Obviously,
What a strange culture you are from.
they are an enemy of our country.
Well, if you're gonna assist the alliance, what are you willing over top of weapons?
Well, we could secure the area above the water, quite capably, allowing you guys to have a position where you could send units that have been injured in combat to safety.
We're also able to provide safety above the water, so in case they try to run away, we can ambush them and attack them and keep them from running away from you.
So
Additional,
blocking them in.
Yes,
exactly.
essentially.
We could secure a perimeter.
And
They wouldn't have anywhere to flee.
How many forces would you be able to commit to this?
Explosia actually... Could Explosia make a history check based upon her military knowledge?
And essentially, knowledge is local. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know that we have
A
lot of
is Asteria able
guards.
to help with this? I don't know.
I mean, I do literally work alongside Eleander a lot, so
True.
You do, but you work around books instead of... You work in his library. You don't work in the
True.
guard. Hunter would actually know better of how many people in the area, of how many guards.
Yeah.
Because
Explosia knows how many
of where
guards
he
off the top
worked.
of her head, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what's a reasonable estimate that we could actually, like, commit to this operation?
And
I
do
know we
you commit
have quite a lot
everything?
of good.
So there's a 20. I don't know what I have
Yeah.
disadvantage on.
So, you know that the Saltmarsh, I believe, has 100 official guard. There's also the there's essentially a caravan guarding company in the area, which they can probably call in others. There's Marines from nearby, but getting those involved would be a bit harder. You'd need to then negotiate with the Duke, and then the Crown, and then get permission from both, and then etc. Your father's
It'd probably
already
be
going
easier
through
to
that
just.
red tape. It's hard enough.
Yes.
It's probably better just to go with what our town can offer.
Yes. Explosia will explain what to Asteria what the town can offer and the defenses, the number of boats that we have, the number of like mercenary ships that we have, what kind of class even.
Okay.
And it's at this point you kind of realize that yes, Explosia actually is surprisingly well versed in this sort of knowledge of like, oh yeah, that Lutheran half of her family is actually kind of a war nut.
This is actually the one time she's probably like, wow.
Yep.
This is very different from your normal.
Like she's talking in like very serious terms of like ending lives here and like severe conquest.
Not the
guessing
fluffy
we'll-
duffy.
We'll figure out exactly later on how many people we can offer because I don't really know fully off the top of my head.
Yep.
But yeah, we got an idea of this is how many people, and that's kind of what I imagine we can tell them we can offer.
So it's essentially promising troops.
Promising troops
And
and
essentially
also
blocking.
the fact that
It's
blocking.
Also, we have two questions. One, we noticed that there weren't any sea elves here. Is there a reason for that?
It was the Kreen's. The Kreen invited specific races that would not conflict with others, and I would say you could speak to. So you could speak to the Coalinth, but they'll probably try to kill you if you do.
That's why we're asking you.
It would seem a better wise decision to speak to the merfolk about it than the Coalinth.
Although she's been diplomatic, she goes even further diplomatic and says, discussing long-running feuds between two cultures would not be a position I would like to put myself into. But they are not friendly to each other, and so the Coalinth and the CLs were only one of them were invited, and
I see.
the
And the
Queen
military
chose
power.
one over the other, even if that one chose not to join. But that is her
I
decision.
see. And the military power of the Coalinth is obviously why they invited them. Interesting.
It's
Well,
a strategic move.
Exactly. It's a very competent move. I'm impressed. She exposes like arms folded, nodding. Like,
But she seems to
Well,
be wary of, even fearful of talking about the Coalinth when she's talking about that, which is why she's gone even further diplomatic in her tone and address.
If we could get the Coalinth on our side as well in this alliance, would you be able to work with us and all of us work together to stop this threat?
We have no issue with working with the Coalinth. The Coalinth has an issue working with the Queen, and so they are not accepted. I would suggest that if the Queen could not get the Coalinth on side, that you will probably be killed just by speaking to the Coalinth. Not
Look,
from the
guys.
Queen, but if you do not, if you approach the Coalinth without an escort, they will probably just try to kill you
I see.
because
Sweat.
they're not the most well. I can see
Civil?
your friends talk. I can see your friends over there talking to the Locatha, and they're not as friendly as the Locatha. They're the lesser of two evils when taking on Sir Helgen. I think they were chosen for their military might and their extremely aggressive nature.
I can see that you were chosen for your competence.
Of course.
Merfolk are
Explosive
quite a
meeting.
very strong, proud, and very graceful people. So it makes sense they would choose one of you guys.
In fact, I would like actually to consider even after this battle is done, perhaps we could work out a cooperation between our two countries. I mean, our two races. After all, we do have a common enemy in the Sea Princes eventually, as they will try to take over these lands, and they aren't exactly friends of the sea as they would claim.
We can,
They more or less raid and slaughter everything they come across.
if these sea princes start going under the water, then possibly we will speak further with your nation. But at the moment, the issues above land mean little to us. The Sahorgan are an issue below land. Below
Oh,
the
there's
sea,
not
that
even
is.
not even the possibility of trade.
We keep
Gemstones, cultural artifacts.
we like to keep
Waterproof,
our
of
cultural
course.
artifacts to ourselves.
Understandable.
Well,
That's very respectable, actually.
I'm just thinking of Egypt with all the cultural artifacts stolen and repossessed and spread throughout the world and into everyone's museums, and they've been trying to reclaim them for 50 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and all those mummies burnt as locomotive fuel
Yep.
because it was cheaper than anything else.
Well, that's actually what Explosive's trying to like push, like the angle that it would be good to ally with humans because if you can ally with us, then we'll be willing to work with you instead of like against you in the seas. Because they've already expressed like, oh man, you guys hunt a lot of those animals that like you overhunt, guys, and like maybe you could have a step in the conversations about that. Maybe you could have an opportunity to say, hey, you whaler, calm the fuck down and back off,
Not bad.
okay?
Doesn't always
If you
work.
want
You're killing all my whale friends. Get out of here.
yeah, like even rationally speaking, like if you overhunt a creature, like it hurts the economy in the long run. So they would be better knowledgeable about. They'd be more knowledgeable about that and better able to warn us.
Japanese. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Would you like who's going? Well, the primary has to be. I think has to be the only one that can speak.
Mm-hmm.
To do the role.
Hey, Asteria. So, do you want my die, or do you want to use that those visions?
I mean, I'm probably going to use the D8 I also have with.
The
Also, the thing is, I can just see my roll first, whatever my roll is, then figure out if I need to roll even higher.
I'm going to give you my support die just because you'll have it now.
Is that that's a D6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the bardic support dice, okay.
Because you've been working together, and that qualifies for it.
And you have inspiration, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh yeah.
Sure I do. But I mean, I have advantage, so I guess it doesn't really matter because I can't use inspiration with advantage.
Can we push a long-term angle as well with this?
It really like.
Or at least like relations that it might be
they
later
seem-
for another time.
They did come
set
across
the
of
stage
being.
for
They said they did come across of when they mentioned like we want to keep our like cultural artifacts ourselves. They seem to be more of a isolationist, at least from the surface point of view. Like that's what they were implying. That they were very much, at least for surface draws, they're isolationists. They may have,
But they did
different
mention they
opinions.
have diplomats occasionally from the surface.
Yes, but that would be.
So it's not a foolproof rule.
But they kind of implied that, which is why I said that.
I mean, they said
Just more of
diplomats
us-
that breathe above the water,
Yeah.
so that could be
Yeah.
lizard folk too.
Yeah.
Not just humans.
Yeah, could
more of
also
like a-
be
not-
elves.
Guaranteed, but just more of like a hey, and later on maybe it could be a topic we bring back up.
Yeah. Yeah. You just want to get like the foot in the door if we roll really well.
So advantage persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna find out real quick why I don't have, I don't talk.
one's high,
Oh hey,
two's high.
Jeez.
Oh god.
hey.
So
I'm-
about those diplomatic negotiation.
Okay,
why
add.
don't I just?
You can also add your like your D6 for your bardic inspiration.
I'll just add that because it's gonna go away probably really quick anyway.
Well-
So roll a d6.
Oh gosh.
Four.
So 24.
Do we want me to roll a d8 because I never roll those anyway, and I will literally never have a reason in combat to roll that.
Or
I think save the D8.
or it can go to somebody else if another donation comes through, and then goes to a D10.
I think we should save that for if we botch
Yeah.
something.
Okay, I'll save it for now.
I think with a nat 20 and a 24 on top of that, I think we're golden with these guys.
I just want to point out though, I beat Ferret.
That's just
Low
me.
blow.
That's just me.
Low blow that.
Okay. So you've got two negotiations done. This has taken 3 hours. And Ferret, yes, I did notice, Fox, that you've started moving your character back. After I started talking
Yep.
about the dangers of the other race that's just above the north, and if you approach them without an escort, they'd probably kill you, or at least attack.
I didn't go too far. I stayed near the area.
I was watching. I was watching. I was totally watching it.
Yep.
I know how far you can go, how close you can go to them, before we bring up the initiative counter and you being by yourself.
Yep.
So yeah, totally was watching.
Familiar
that.
story.
Oh no, sorry, not like that again. So that's done. Updated the counter.
Totally coming back to talk to the merfolk because I want to be friends with that lady. She's my friend now.
I mean, I think with the
Lorwyn is my
24,
friend
we
now.
befriended that. Or at least
She's my mer friend. I'm gonna go tell everyone back in town that I have a mer friend.
So you've spoken to two of the delegations. Are you wishing to speak to the third delegation after hearing that?
Quick thing I wanted to ask the merfolk: what sort of ambassador do we need to talk to them?
What do you mean? What sort do you need to talk to them?
They
need,
said
like,
do
an
not go
escort.
talk to you do not go talk to them without an escort. What sort of escort do we need?
Like a queen.
From the lizard
escort?
was the
Okay.
implication. Yes.
Understood. Thank you. Explosia gives some flowery compliments as she always does with everything,
Yeah. So,
and gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it actually went really well.
Astaire is like, just a quick one sec. Astaire, around here.
Oh, yep.
Sec.
We did it. We talked to the mermaids. Yes, we did it.
I know, right? It was like really, like kind of scary, but also like really fun and like, I don't know. I'm kind of pumped now. Like we did
I know.
really good.
Guys,
I'm
guys,
good at reading. I'm good at reading people. She totally liked you. Like
I know. She
if
really,
she-
really
I know
liked us.
she was asking like she was acting like all like stoic and everything, but like I'm good at reading people.
Mhm.
Anyways,
You-
hey guys,
Hi guys.
you both know that we can hear you, right?
Oh yeah. We don't want
we're
to hear
whispering.
you here.
and the Locath is like, hi.
Hi.
Maybe from the
Oh,
Hello.
they're so cute. Hi.
Oh, hello. My gosh, you guys got lucky too. Did it go well?
Yeah.
Are we friends now?
Mhm.
Uh huh.
Hi, friend.
Yeah.
So, who next?
Well,
I think the lizard folk because we want to talk to the Colith, but we need an escort to get to them, or they might just kill us.
So, like the other lizard folk, or like the commoners, or
I'm assuming some like
like
either the
the-
shamans or maybe the lizard folk, the other ones. We need
Do
just somebody
we-
who has
do
like
we
an
want
escort.
to split and hit two things at once? See who can
I-
take us there?
I think that's good as long as you're capable of speaking Draconic, or at least speak to a race that could, a group that could.
I mean, these guys spoke decent common. I'm sure we can find,
Folk speak Draconic.
Yes, lizard folk speak Draconic.
Yes.
He spoke
Not
great
realize that.
common.
It
Yeah, thanks.
Some of the high ups in the lizard folk, speak common. So the
so
queen has spoken common,
So,
and those around the higher echelons speak common.
yeah,
Shamans probably would speak common.
we could go to the shamans then if you think they speak common, and then you guys can go talk to, like, I don't know, the commander, the the higher up guy, not the queen,
Chief
but the
advisor?
other one.
The advisor.
Yeah,
Chief?
that one.
Yeah, that's probably best. I don't think the chief advisor likes you very much.
Right. So you go to them, we'll go to the shamans, we'll meet back up in the middle.
Yes. Do we need to switch up? Do you guys need Asteria for the shamans?
I mean, if we take Asteria, who do you want?
we trade.
I mean, I could also. I could also just like as a ritual just
I've got a
cast
Wookiee
comprehend
card.
languages on all of you.
that
It's a
would
draft.
allow them to communicate to them, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would all of you would understand at the very least, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
would.
Should we maybe have this conversation somewhere more private?
Probably.
Yeah, I think we're walking back now.
Hi.
Hi.
To be fair, this is probably the most private place. I don't think
guys
they
are
care.
Peaceful. Ah, I love them.
All right.
Look at their seal
so-
friends. They have giant seals. They're so cute.
So do you
Yeah,
want
the
Edric
eagles.
or do you want Hunter?
Shh, their picture says seals. It looks like a seal in the picture.
Yes.
And the actual group picture. Well, I know they have sea eels, but like in their actual like
Mhm.
picture.
I think the question is more of a case of, does Edric want to speak to the shamans?
Probably better for Edric to speak to them
Yeah.
because he is religious. So
So do you
shaman's
want?
religion.
So do you want Hunter then?
Also,
Some-
guys, I do have one extra language that I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe Draconic. Maybe just
Maybe.
But
maybe.
I love how you have all the languages and no charisma score.
I know, right?
just all book
I
smarts.
studied a lot, but I really just liked reading, so I read different books in different languages.
I will say when we talked about languages, because how we've done languages for those watching is that a lot of campaigns in D&D and fantasy role playing, etc., where you pick your language at the start and you go an entire campaign for years and never using that language. So in this one, we just went, okay, you have X amount of languages, and in Nir's case, Explosia has so many languages from the start. Because Exterior has so many languages from the start, from the background and from the class and everything that goes with it, that we just went, okay. So as we go on, if you need a language, you can say, oh, I read it in a book, or I studied, or I learned from X or whatever. And just bring in, I know this language. And from that point on, you have that language, it's marked down, it's permanent, you can't change it.
Yep.
So you're running out, but when we did this, I knew about this happening. I knew about all these languages being needed. So it's like I knew when we're going to be using them all up, which was this area.
Which is honestly, this makes me happy that it was like this because you don't really know at the beginning, and normally most people go, okay, you're not going to meet any of the crazy like out there races. So you go, okay, Elvish, Dwarven. We'll maybe talk to halflings and gnomes. You
Yeah.
don't know what you
Giants.
could talk to.
Goblin.
Explosive probably speaks Sylvan, but like I don't
wouldn't
think
have
that's going to
thought
come up.
Goblins and Aquans would come into play, but I learned the languages because they did.
Yeah. And we haven't used Goblin yet because we haven't even encountered any goblins.
I've used it
Hobgoblin.
once to read a paper.
Oh yes, Hobgoblin, that's right.
But yes.
So that's
So Asteria, do you want to be on their team or do you want to keep coming with me?
The shamans will be able to speak common, right?
they have spoken common.
Most likely.
For those
mean-
for those that we're talking about speaking, the Queen has spoken common. The shamans have spoken common. The sergeants have understood common. And I think may have even
Those
spoken
under
it.
other lizard folk?
They will be under other lizard folk. So if you want to speak
Okay.
military, if you're talking about weapons and stuff like that, the sergeants, there's called scale shields, will probably be what Huey's speaking to.
Okay.
Because they're like, these are all the factions. You would assume that if the Queen speaks common, that maybe her chief advisor may also have that. But that may or may not be the case.
He straight up spoke common in front of us.
No, that's the second in command. That's not chief advisor.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
There's a difference between
The
the
chief
two.
advisor is like sort of militaristic, I'm guessing.
You don't know.
Okay.
You haven't met
Chief
him.
advisor is like Jafar and Aladdin.
Well,
Oh,
I
You-
think
the queen will consult with you
I
and
think we
bring you
should
in on your expertise.
I
it's
think
probably
we should leave Hunter in the in one of the groups and Explosive in one of the others because I think we're both the most charismatic. But
I think it's also basically it's a chief advisor. He's knowledgeable. Knowledge seems best to go there instead of the shamans who are out of my element because they're religious and I would
Okay.
not know
let's
better in that one.
Shaman
let's go.
element.
Okay, let's go speak with the chief advisor then.
We're gonna just split it up. The girls are gonna do their job. The guys are gonna do theirs.
Yep.
Yeah. And Exposio will explain to the guys that we talked to the merfolk. We got them on our side. Exposio will expunge about some like other girly stuff about how much he likes the merfolk and just happy about it. But also that the merfolk brought up the idea that the lizard folk shamans would probably be our best bet with learning water breathing. Like getting some people to cast water breathing on us.
Okay.
Since
Just in case, hey, if they also have a scroll of, water breathing or, alter self or something that's water based, let me know. So I'll just go write that down in my spellbook.
yeah.
Mhm.
And even
just in
if
case.
they can only cast it a couple times, it would mean that we could send some of our best soldiers in to help.
Which is probably us at this point. Did you see the way that some of those cards
out
died?
of character, looks at the stat sheet of a veteran, looks at my character.
I mean, we have a few veterans, and then we have like Bob over there who's about to die because he's gonna get hit once and go.
Technically, we have a number of veterans. They're just not good at diplomacy.
No.
Yeah.
They're good at torture.
Oh, hey, quick question. Do you guys have any ability to grant water breathing to people?
No.
Okay.
I know of it. I'm studying it. I just haven't kind of studied that since it didn't seem like it was necessary in all the tropes we were doing away from water. And now we're doing something with water, and I didn't study it. So,
Well, I think we've got our plan. I believe we have our plan.
Also, before we go, does anyone want me to maybe cast comprehend languages on them so they understand maybe others who are speaking around them in other languages?
Sure.
Sure.
Boop, boop, boop. I could do it as a ritual, so hey, there you go.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
But you are also on a time limit.
Yeah. Though we're splitting up this stuff, so
So it does speed
That'll
things
help.
up. We're going to have a break. But before we have a break, a couple of things. The first announcement that we have is that we've got some fan art. So we've got some fan art, and I think it's amazing. And so if I can bring it up properly.
Enter.
So for those that
Wait, who's that again?
so so this is the time when the cast should be logging in and like looking at the stream. But yes, we've got some fan art. I think it's absolutely amazing. So have a look at this. Let's uncover it. Let's get rid of the map itself. It shouldn't be there. There we go. So, why didn't it come up for the other bits and pieces?
There it is.
Wow.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I love
God.
it.
I love
So
it.
I'm just trying to get
Is that Hunter?
Yes, Hunter
Yeah.
is the most
Just-
glorious member of this
Well,
team.
like-
When you're
Oh,
not
never mind.
looking.
I didn't see the.
It
helmet.
is-
That's obviously
it is-
Edric.
So it's Explosio. It's absolutely
That's
amazing from Masquerade Paint at DeviantArt. It just like the detail, the scroll work. Just
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
It's honestly more elegant than Explosia deserves. That
Oh,
That's
it's
awesome.
girly little pom-pom of a woman.
Yeah, there's just so much
beautiful.
fluff and fur. Yes. So Masquerade Paint at DeviantArt, check them out. I think it's amazing art. I really
It's
am a visual
amazing.
person. I love great artists. I love seeing characters reinterpreted. In this case, not really reinterpreted, just refined. Maybe I think it's awesome. So thank you so much, Masquerade Paint and DeviantArt for that.
Thank you.
And of course, permission
really,
to actually
thanks.
put it on stream as well. So the other thing is, before we go on our break, is so I just need to then turn those off so we can have our normal maps back and everything. There's a map. There we go. The other thing is that we have a giveaway this week. The giveaway is actually going to be the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, the brand new D&D 5th edition campaign. I have not got a copy myself, which makes it even more annoying that we're giving one away. But it's really, really annoying. It's actually a game I want to play in because from what I've seen, the character creation and the bond of the characters is really, really well thought of. One of my major issues with D&D 5th edition is the whole you meet in a tavern, let's go. Like there's ways of doing it which are there in the system but they're not implemented well. This campaign implements it brilliantly. It bonds a party together. It gives them a reason for being together. It gives them a history to be together. Like it forces that all into the character creation, and it forces decisions which players usually don't want to make. And that's before you even roll a dice. That's in just the character creation. And then it throws you into the crap. And then it throws you deeper into Avernus. So we've got a giveaway of it, a hardcover copy of the book. So we're going to be doing the giveaway tomorrow. If you type in, and I've got it here if I can find it. And it's customized to this episode. Exclamation point drowning. Is if you key that in, then you can enter yourself into the draw. We'll do the draw tomorrow, and essentially if you watch tomorrow's show, there'll be another chance to enter the draw. So if you watch all the shows this week, all the role-playing shows that is, you can get up to 3 entries into the draw. So that's the thing. And of course it's an amazing book, and I really, 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 really want it myself. But I'll probably, I want to play in it. I want to read it, but I also want to play in it. So I'm actually staying away from it personally, from reading it, because I so want to play it. So we're going to have a break. So if you type exclamation point drowning, you can enter yourself in the draw. For some reason, for some reason people weren't eligible, but type that in while we're on a break, and for the rest of the show, we'll keep on reminding you of that as well. And you'll be in the draw. So we're going to have a break now. We're going to be back shortly. Stick around, and we'll do some other negotiations of the Lizardman side. I was so waiting for Ferret to keep on walking north, because I just would have started initiative. Like you weren't, like you were getting there. You were just walking that way.
I figured I shouldn't go beyond the other dock or even near the other dock. Like, stay just south of that.
No,
Maybe.
There was a line which I had in mind. There was a parallel. If you passed it, initiative would have started. I just went, okay, done. Let's do this. But yeah, so we'll be back. Thanks for everyone coming in. Thanks for, of course, the donations and everything. And also, if you can check out Koatori _ on Twitter. In chat at the moment. I had a look at her Twitter when she came in, and looks awesome. Amazing art again. With charms and stickers, etc. So check out Koatori. I'm probably really butchering that in Twitter as well. Really cool. I like artists. I like art. It's great. So yeah, we're going to move break. We'll be back soon. So bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Go for the knees, boys! Alright. Arg! Prepare to be boarded.
Aha!
Because we're all
Because
so
blue's my favorite color. How did you
Hi.
know, Karsh?
Welcome back in. Hi, welcome to the channel. Welcome back in. Thank you for sticking around. If you came in while we were on our break, thank you for sticking around. It's really, really great. If you are new and you just came in, if you type in exclamation point drowning in the channel, you'll be entering into our draw, which will be happening tomorrow, for Descent into Avernus, the new Baldur's Gate D&D campaign. It is really amazing. I want it myself, but we're giving one away instead. And if you are starting a campaign with your friends, or if you want to get into D&D, it's a really, really interesting version of doing it. From what I've seen at the start, it's dangerous, it's dark, but it's also heavy metal, rock and roll. So it's going to be a fun one to run. So if you want to do a campaign, or if you've got a friend that's looking to play a campaign or start D&D, type exclamation mark drowning, get yourself into the draw. It's a really, really good one to get into. We're not playing that. We're playing the Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign set, which is a bit of everything over the years. We're currently in the Danger at Dunwater campaign or mini scenario thingy from back in the first edition days, in something called the U series. There's also a current thing going on is we have our new sub badges at the moment. We've finally gotten around to it after over a year of having a channel, and the current call out is, if you can tell me why, and it's correct of course, if you can tell me why the sub badges are the blue color, then I'll give away a free sub, because that's the thing. And speaking about subs, it's September, so if you want to subscribe to the channel and get access to our emotes, because they're cute and they're cuddly and they're goblin related, and also help support the channel, it's September, so half price for tier 1 subscriptions, which helps us out. And we've got an aim to try to unlock more emotes by getting a certain amount of subscription points. Also, if you want to help the channel even more, unlock more emotes for yourself, you can subscribe at a tier 2 or tier 3 level, but they're not at the discounted rates currently. If you're looking for bits, and you're trying to refresh your bit account, in September, Subway is actually going to give you free bits. So you've got discounted bits for your bits, and it's all because Subway and September is a thing. It's a weird thing at that. We're not big enough, unfortunately, to have Subway give away 100 gift subscriptions, which I've actually seen happen in other channels. Absolutely bonkers to see that happen. But anyway, that's all that's going on. We're in the lizard folk lair at the moment, and we're off to speak to the shamans of the lizard folks and also, I believe, the second in command. Is that correct? Oh, sorry, no, the chief advisor.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to move your I'm not going to move the tokens around the map because it's a huge map, and we don't need to use the map as much because it's more just talking and whatnot. Hey, thank you for the subs. There we go, and the sub bits go. So plus 10 bits, thanks to Subway, I think that is. The boys will need this one. Here, Hunter.
Just
I will
gonna move
hastily
it along.
waste it on stealing something.
Sounds about right.
That's how we donate. So if you donate to the channel, we also essentially have dice for the characters, and we have currently a D8 which turns into a D10. If it gets past the D10, I get a D20 and I will use it. I will do a counter roll somehow on your thing. I don't know. I'll find a way of using it when I can. So Hunter, you've now got the D10. So it looks like you're doing the negotiations.
They're gonna force you to do the negotiations there, Hunter. Good luck.
Seems that way.
Yeah. So where's Hunter and the boys going?
To the shamans.
To the shamans.
Okay, so we'll... Okay. So we'll do the shamans thing in the there's a cathedral. Where's the cathedral? There we go. I will drag and drop the boys because just to have an idea of where you are and do a description of the room as well. There we go, the boys. I'm not copy and pasting the Hunter, your outline, your stick figure man. I know it was you, Zero.
It's okay, I got it over here, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My God. Is that our friend? Is that our escort?
Crap, where are we going?
Stick figure man?
No, that's my illusion that I'm just bringing
no.
with me.
Okay, so you deleted it. I was going to bring it up on screen, but thanks. Where are we? Okay, so we're a long way off. Okay. Oh no, you actually You did it. Oh boy. So what room is this? This is
Yeah, it's just the dancing stick man with a top hat. That's what it is.
There you go.
Lizard folk lair. We've gone from like 40 to 12. This is a huge map. So many different rooms. Okay. Okay, so and the colour as well just pops out on the map too. Really pops out on the map too. So, sweet perfume hangs in the air in this place of worship. At the far end, a lizard folk crouches before a stone altar. To each side of the altar, small lit burners. Sorry. To each side of the altar are small lit burners, while at the centre a candelabrum holds four lit candles. Above the altar, the south wall is decorated with a marine. This is really annoying. Above the altar, the south wall is decorated with a marine fresco of lizard folk warriors brandishing a club. Blue-green drapes cover the east and west walls. And that's where you find yourself.
Quick question. Are the dice blue because the drapes are blue?
No.
You know, it was worth a shot.
Hey, I'll give away I'll give away a subscription for the person that can tell me why our sub dice are blue. So yeah, but yes, there's a lizard folk shaman obviously a shaman, in prayer, kneeling at the altar.
So Ferret's just sitting there, kind of like nudging Hunter forward, like, "Hey, I took the last one. You got this one."
Isn't it rude to interrupt? I mean, the guy's praying. Edric, is it rude?
I mean, I guess kind of, yeah. Should we wait or?
I think we should wait.
Okay, so let's go to the girls.
They wait for 3 hours.
Hey,
Man's in prayer.
hey, it counts as a short rest. We're fine.
Are they blue because your favorite color's blue?
No,
Is it blue because your eyes are blue? I don't know if your eyes are blue, but I can't tell.
usually
Honestly, don't know.
bloodshot, but that's like asleep.
Yeah.
How long are you willing to wait?
Mm,
Hunter waits
I mean,
a minute before going, no.
I'll say I'm probably the patient one, so
you're saying that, but Hunter has found a new toy in his minor illusion.
hey, if you guys don't want to wait that long, that's okay.
I
I
turned
feel
to
like Ferret
Hunter.
would not want to wait.
Oh no. I started pacing for a while. Just pacing. And then I turned to Hunter and I go, I mean, I've still got that deck of cards if you want to play.
No, I'm okay.
Wait, but you
Be
know,
respectful. Bust out the deck of cards.
I'll we'll make it a standard deck this time. We don't have any extra, nonsense.
Cheating.
High low. 1 gold.
I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, I
What are you
shouldn't gamble
busy
here.
with?
And I point at the dancing illusion.
And
diddling himself.
and he goes back to pacing.
So what are we saying? Maybe like an hour, 2 hours?
I'd say like an hour is the most that Ferret could take.
So we'll wait an hour max.
I think during that too, Edric he wouldn't necessarily approach the altar, but he might like there's no seating here, right?
There's no seating.
No prayer mats or anything like that.
Nope. It's
Okay. But
dirt.
he might just find a little spot and kind of kneel to himself and maybe meditate in his own prayer.
Who are you praying to?
He doesn't know.
Okay.
He's just
Um,
trying to have an open conversation with someone.
The feeling is different in here. As in you've grown on. I wouldn't say grown up, but you spend a lot of time in one specific cathedral, chapel, church. But things feel very different here. Like the presence is quite different from what you're used to. So you think that there's something here, but you don't know if it's malice or if it's harmonious. Well, it feels less harmonious than you'll be used to.
I'd say I feel like that's kind of how Edric feels about Procan as well. So
True. Well, as you've developed, you've gotten that feeling, but this
Right,
is
right.
very much more upfront.
and can I tell he's like praying?
You get that feeling that he's praying. There's things coming from him. There's sounds and whatnot.
Okay.
They're not in common. I don't think any of the group. Oh no, you do have understanding of Draconic now because you had the ritual cast on you.
Right.
But there's some of the words that you don't understand. Think of it more like a Latin prayer type situation where the priest might have a different religious language on
Just
top
for
of,
their prayer.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Comprehend language gives you the ability to understand all languages. So,
Well, that makes things
I
fun.
think. Yeah.
But
Magic.
yeah, I know. But think of it as like a prayer language, which it's
It's got to be a formal language in
Yeah.
order for it to
Yeah.
for you to comprehend it. So
Yeah.
if it's not a formally spoken language, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's not a formal language, we probably wouldn't know it.
that is a better explanation.
Even
yes.
with that.
That is a much better explanation. You may understand certain words coming through there in the song and in prayer, but it's not really combined in a way where you would understand what's really going on. But there's certainly a prayer.
We all look to Asteria for knowledge.
Who's not there? Asteria is not there. The boys are by themselves.
No,
With the
I didn't mean
dancing.
in the scene. I just meant
Yes.
we always look to Nier for knowledge.
Does he usually take this long to pray?
I
I
Well,
took
his
his
secret
brain
is
now.
not there.
God damn.
Yeah.
At least he's trying.
Damn it.
So in my pacing, I want to walk over to Edric and be like, "All right, so we gonna continue things here? Or are we just gonna keep sitting here?"
I mean, if you guys want to interrupt, you can, I guess. I mean,
What would
it's not.
be-
I wouldn't say it's like the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's still kind of rude,
What would
but
be
probably
the
recoverable.
least rude way to get him out of praying?
Excuse me, I hate to bother you while you're praying, but may I speak with you for a moment?
All right, hey Hunter,
Huh?
Hunter, you're okay. If you didn't listen to Edric, he's saying you're supposed to say, "Excuse me, I hate to bother you while you're praying. Can we
may I
speak
speak
to
with
you?"
you for a
Yeah. What he said.
All right.
And maybe just don't get too close for comfort.
Okay.
You can
Is this good?
stand back a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, lizard shaman. I apologize for interrupting. Could we have a moment of your time? Was that good?
You hear a hiss from the lizardman as it turns. Says, "How dare you enter this sacred place?"
Edric, what
We-
now?
We would like to hear more about the god that you are praying to. I have not found a god that really satisfies my religious needs, and maybe I thought I'd find one here.
As you say that, you feel something in your hand, and you feel like once again you're bleeding.
For fuck's sakes, not now. Just kind of like hide it a little bit.
As in, it's not openly in your hand, but you just feel like you've just brushed past it again, and you've cut yourself again on that dagger. Especially after saying such things. I'm just trying to find the actual. There you go. Some manure not for you folk. You're too weak. The divine Samanya
Weak?
only blesses those of strength.
He looks down at himself like, damn it. He looks at the other two strong guys. So like, God damn it. Hmm.
I mean, like my strength or like this guy's strength, and I point to Edric.
Who's still kneeling?
The shaman actually spits on the floor in your direction, not at you, but in your direction, and says, "Your skin is too soft for Samanya. He will only bless the strength and the might of our kind."
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Hey, Edric.
I'm getting nothing, man.
Edric, do you want to help out here, or you gonna let us just try and flail about?
No response yet.
All right. So, sir,
Such
Working on
my
things.
Yes.
my name is Ferret,
Nothing.
and this
Your
is
name is nothing in
and
this
this
temple.
is okay. My name is Nothing. This is
And
Nothing
my
number
name's
2,
Nothing.
and that guy's also Nothing. We have been, told by the Queen to seek out the various factions for assistance with dealing with the Sahagin. We know that they are a threat to you guys as they are a threat to us. Now, understandably, you have much more strength, have the ability to do things that we cannot.
With Samanya's blessing, we need not your allies. We don't need any allies. We can take on these heathen Sahagins by ourselves. Samanya will help us kill everything.
What if we just assisted? Not like we let you take care of the Sahagin, but like, is there something that you need from us? Do you need weapons? Do you need at least, assistance with cornering them? Whether we like take care of the above sea and you take care of the below sea, and if they try and run, we are there to keep them there. Is there some sort of things like that?
We could
That you would need-
sacrifice you and your families to Samanya and get greater blessings from him.
What's the name of what name did you say? Sorry?
Samanya.
Samanya.
And that'll prove,
Edric's listening
that'll
in, by the way.
prove
Would he
that-
know anything about that?
You know that heathen, pagan religions have sacrifices, and it's a lot of the modern churches wouldn't go down that route, but you do know that power can be gained through sacrifice, and
Would
actual power.
Would I think that he would know who Procan is?
Possibly not. He is speaking common, but he's also calling you pagans. So
Wait, he's calling us pagans?
Yes, but he would probably get a history check like you would get a history check to know who Samanya is.
Right.
Oh, sorry, a religious check, not a history.
You know what, guys? I think I'm done here. I'm just gonna go get Core. He'll deal with this. I drag my religion with me, and then I go outside, and I'm gonna out of sight from anyone. I'll do this guy's off, and I'll come back as a big, strong, beefy lizard man named Core. And as he enters, he's like, "Praise Saga," or whatever the hell the god name is.
Samanya. Are you saying that in
Samanya,
Draconic?
sorry, Samanya.
Can you talk?
Nope, because he was raised by the city folk, and he's part of this party, but he loves Samanya. Samanya? Sumania.
Okay, so acting.
Yes. Acting.
Performance. Yep.
Performance.
Sounds like
yeah.
deception or performance.
Yeah, one of the two.
Well,
Oh my
Wait, do you
God.
have
bad.
to? Do you have to?
What is with
You-
the damn
you-
rolls?
Praise Sumania. Hello,
Man, he
fellow
has-
adventurers. I am your friend, Core.
do you want to add that D10?
No. This is fine. This is fine. This is just a simple-minded lizard folk that joined your party and was raised in the town.
No,
And he kind of just
no,
he
no.
just-
This is insight, please, from the two other party members, as a lizardman is pretending to
Huh.
be your friend, because that's a 21 performance with an illusion.
Oh shoot!
So they can't
Oh.
see through it, but they can kind of guess it only.
Holy
Well, I critted.
What is these damn rolls?
What is this night?
Well,
So although you cannot see through the fact that this is Hunter, it is a lizardman. It is a big, looks like one of the big strong sergeants that you've seen walking around. You like the only thing that ticks you off is the fact that he's saying like come from the city and blah blah blah. That there's the dagger is at his hip, the dagger which you know is Hunter's. That's the only thing that's ticking that's ticking the box that this is a Hunter. Freaking out.
Yep.
With no bonuses or little bonuses at that. Okay.
I'm gonna like try to whisper over to Ferret and ask if we should leave.
Core says something along the lines of, "These weak, fleshy meatbags, they are good. They are good fighters, strong fighters. They will help in any way we can. They are easy to manipulate."
But they do not worship our God. They are heathens and they need to be sacrificed. We help them
And
sacrifice
they will be.
these.
In the field of battle against our enemy.
We can...
Oh,
Ah. Do you want to do your persuasion check now with that argument?
Yes.
Use the humans as meat shields.
Yes. But
You don't have
I
advantage.
do not mean
unless
to
you have-
sacrifice them. So
you-
could it be deception?
It'll be deception. You won't have advantage from their assistance because you're doing
Yep.
this individually.
But you have
do
a
D10.
have inspiration if you want to use it, and you got the D10 chat dice.
Yeah. Let's go for all of the above.
And I'm going to tell you that, as you kind of may have guessed, the shaman's a lot more hostile than the others. So the difficulty
yeah.
for this one may be quite a bit higher.
Yep. I'm using all of the above.
Yep.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
17.
17.
And
Wasn't
Come
the
on.
come on, die.
Oh!
Hey!
Okay. So with the assistance, with the chat dice, thank you, chat, because otherwise
chat.
things wouldn't have gone as well as it's going to go. Things would not have
you,
gone well
Fox.
at all.
Oh, I knew we needed it.
There's other things in this room which you do not know about, guys, and because of that role, you don't need to know about those other things in the room. So he with that style of argument, or with the yes, we'll sacrifice them, we'll paint up the humans as sacrifices, so when they go into battle, their souls will go to our great God, and they'll give us greater power to fight the Sahuagin for real from the seas. That is a very good plan. I will talk to my shamans, and we will agree to side with well, we'll agree to allow the humans into the alliance.
Excellent.
God, the difficulty was really high on that. Like really high. The 20s you were getting before wouldn't have hit it unless you had skill, and this group didn't have skill. So, yeah. That as well as and yeah, you played it well. Very, very well done.
All right. Okay.
I'm
Meatbags.
going to take the chat dice
Outside.
off you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you inspiration back.
Yay!
Screw it.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
So, inspiration off, inspiration back on. Done.
Oh, yep. Yep.
let the great shaman pray alone. Just kind of like out of the way, just turn back to Hunter. Wait, 1 second. There we go.
Can we like go down the hallway?
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Okay, that changes things quite a bit actually. Just update my point system.
We have to look out for the you know who.
So that changed, as I said, that changed things quite a bit. Probably not the hardest one.
That's
to
why I
investigate.
didn't say anything, by the way.
I don't even have psychic powers, and I get the feeling that we just got conscripted for something. I think it's my aesthetic powers. Something about being painted.
I get this strange feeling, like there's like this weird sensation, but like I feel like the stars are telling me, maybe somebody got like us put on the like the little hit list somewhere. We might die. But you know, it's weird.
How terrible. Hopefully it
what's
isn't
the other
us.
It'll probably be Edric or like Ferret. You know, it's fine.
Not
As long as it's
Hunter.
not Hunter or us, I'm okay.
Fair enough.
They're actually not that far from you, but we'll have you into this room here, and I'll give you a description as well. So this one's a bit different.
I'm back.
38. You're back? Awesome.
Yeah, I disappeared. I was gonna ask the guys if we could, like, what was hanging out the other way, or if we picked a way for a reason.
I don't know, but you actually picked the right way.
I froze. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
you just picked one direction and went that way, and that's the
I'll
actual
say I
way.
froze. So as soon as we started moving, I didn't. Nothing else happened to me.
Now we just started walking.
Don't worry. The initiative counter hasn't been put up yet.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
It could have happened over at the over the pools.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how far we are from that. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
you're east. You're past the barricaded gates. So
I don't trust anywhere.
It's probably smart.
okay. So this small comfortable room is in the This is a small comfortable room. In the center is a circular wooden table which lies a closed book. To one side of the table, an aged lizard occupies a crudely upholstered armchair. To the other side, a plain wooden chair sits empty. In the northwest corner, a brass tripod supports a brass bowl filled with hot coals. The room is warm and smoky. I do want to point out the fact that the lizard folk is quite aged, and as you enter the room, as you knock on the room, he does call out to enter, and he greets you warmly, introducing himself as Sariv, and please sit down, and then realizes, well, one of you can sit down and the other one can stand, and that's about as best as I can.
Mysteria, of course, after you.
Nope, nope. Obviously you, because you're the nobility. It's fine.
She like is like, I'm touched.
She's gonna pull the chair back for you as well, just to like offer you the chair.
When you,
I'm touched, but in the back of her mind, but I worry about your weak legs.
It's okay. My weak legs can handle this.
there's a moment of like tension. There's a Canadian standoff here.
when you go to sit down, he actually stands, and when this argument starts, he stands uncomfortably, as in he's quite aged and quite his teeth are ground down. His teeth are brown with age. His skin, even though it's reptilian, you can see that there's wrinkles and wrinkles of skin that like is quite old. And he offers his chair to both of you.
No, you're too kind. I'm young and healthy. Thank you, though.
Oh no,
You're young and healthy.
It's really fine. She's going to just kind of make a pillow out of her robe and lots of dress that she has because she has way too many clothes layers on, and is going to basically use that as a pillow. She sits like on her knees because she's like, "Yeah, this is fine."
Explosive realizes, oh wait, one sec, just takes the fluff off and just like a nest.
He's watching
like a
intrigued
pillow.
at your customs.
Yeah.
Not totally understanding it, but he seems to have some understanding of human
We have a
customs.
strong. We have a strong sense of camaraderie between us.
It's interesting. You say, lady. Are you a queen?
Oh yeah, I am a noble. That's similar to a queen, but a little
Princess.
lower rank. Similar, yes.
Does that make this your servant?
We're like a friend. We're
Or is it mistress?
allies.
Yeah. No,
Did
she's
I
not
get
a
that
servant.
right?
She's simply. She is one of the many people under my domain, under my rule, and I am obligated to protect her, just as the queen protects all of you.
I like to go with the word advisor. I'm like a knowledge advisor for her as well.
Instantly picks that up, like the.
Perfect.
So I studied your language from books, and I taught the others here.
Oh, my! So you're the one that we have to thank for that.
I don't know
also
about
study
thanking.
your
but
language as well.
It's your customs are definitely different.
Yes, I imagine so. The different cities around the world have a lot of customs. I have had to learn about many of them. I think Asteria actually has a better grip on them than I do. She's my advisor, after all.
Yes, advisor.
If you
not
ever wish to
mistress.
learn more about, the customs, Asteria would be happy to share them with you.
You have books.
I'm always pleased to make plenty of knowledge, I guess, trade.
Wait, he asked for books, I think.
Oh, looks at here's wait, books. Opens like her bag. Well, as you say that, just book after book after book after book, and it's just like, this is on this is on this.
He
She's like, "Oh, wait,
reaches
I'm
out.
going
He
on
reaches out and pulls them towards him and starts eagerly, just looking through. Problem is,
It's the
I
lewd
know what
book.
you've got in your books. I know what you've got in your inventory. So can you list?
Oh yeah, no, she's keeping certain
No,
ones
you
away.
didn't say that. So can I get the list of books and we'll do a dice roll to see if he pulls out the illustrated book of essentially bawdy
God.
poetry. If that's the one he reaches
Well, let's
for.
see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8, and then I have 9. Do you want me to count the spell books because they're all in there too?
Well, you wouldn't. I'm assuming you would not ever pull out a spell book for that.
I
So,
mean, yeah.
8. Let's roll a d8. So you can roll a d8.
Oh, good.
Wait, do it. 40.
Oh, good. The magical properties of herbs and flowers by the Archmage Tensor. Good.
Okay, damn.
Not erotic poetry this time.
Or
She
the
sees
drinking
him
in
reaching for
brothels.
that one and goes, "Oh wait." She
You never know, he might like
trades.
it.
Or the drinking in brothels guide to the south. Like,
That
to the
one would have
coast.
been a perfect one too.
Yeah. So he'll constantly, and on the table there's a number of books, and so let's see what we've got here. So we've actually got reading materials. Where is it? So I'm just going to cover the map so I can bring this up properly so I can really see.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? 50, 40, 38. So yeah, he has a lot of reading materials in the room as well, and on the table. Here we go. So on the table, there is Politics of Power by Ludovico. Well, one of those family, as in one of your family.
Oh, Politics of Power. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Ludovico.
Yeah, an obscure work from about power shifting and the shifting of power inside of politics. Dealing with the shiftier side of power politics and diplomacy.
In that case, that would be the Ludovico one.
Yeah, sorry. I knew it was one of them. It's actually really close. I'm like, yeah, let's just run with that one because I know your characters' backgrounds. Another one is The Triumph of Diplomacy. Occult Properties of Gemstone by the Archmage Tensor.
Ooh.
Yeah. A Lizard Language and Common Tongue Grammar. A Lizard Language and Common Tongue Grammar. And it's written by, like it says written by, but the author's name has long since been removed. And it looks like one of the oldest of the books. Most of these books are in Common Tongue, are written in Common. And it's got The Nature of Sahorgan by Professor Yaxum. And that's again written in Common. So, and that's on the table already. And he's quickly going through your books and just flicking through.
I'm assuming he's flipping through her book. She's like,
are you reaching for his?
Flips through a couple. I'm going to ask first, be like, would you care if I take a look at one of these?
Oh no, please. I didn't know that all of you could read, but it's good for advisors to be learned about other cultures.
Yes.
Very true.
It's actually relatively uncommon for commoners to be able to read, but I'm a noble and she's an advisor, so.
Yep.
This is like looks at you.
It is uncommon for commoners to be unable to read, right?
She's like, yeah, actually, most people don't really know.
Yeah, there's no schooling.
There's really not a schooling. We don't really school people here. I'm sorry.
He reaches out for another book. I'm rolling D8 this time. 8.
That is A Drinking Guidebook and Best Brothels.
That's the brothels.
No.
Hey, you know what? That was fine because that one's all of our customs of merriment and partying.
Yeah, fair actually.
It's not, hey, here's sex and here's very detailed pictures of what goes on in it.
Yep.
Explosia looks at the body book for a second, looks at you.
It's like the
looks
next
at the
on
body
the pile.
book. It's
She snaps her fingers and Nova appears and lands on it and just kind of curls up on top of it and just no.
just takes the book.
It's like, no, my book, my sleep spot.
Just looks at you and good job.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry, I got it covered.
I was going to ask for a slight
By the way,
hint, just
I
in
actually
case.
noticed that this book is. I actually noticed that this book is actually by my family.
Really?
Oh.
Yes, the Ludovico family is known for their competency with both the mercantile affairs and, well, their political grace. Some of them are very elegant. Others are a bit more of the sneaky, underhanded variety, of course.
You told me a very good deal about your politics.
Yes.
and you
for
see
a moment,
then you see that he, like, with his tail, he's like pointing at a dagger behind him.
yeah, and he'll notice, like, Exposia doesn't always hide her emotions the best, and like Exposia actually will reach an arm across and like hold her arm, like it's a clear movement of she's almost reliving something very painful.
Yes.
But she kind of shakes it off, and the smile quickly returns.
Yes, there can be a lot of underhanded dealings, unfortunately, amongst nobles. Though I personally try my best not to follow that dastardly sort of pattern.
Well, it makes I've tried to teach the Queen how to negotiate and how to work with other cultures, and this book has been both informative and disturbing. But we hope that not everything goes well how this book explains things, at least.
Not if I have any say in it.
And she has a very determined look on her face at the moment.
Is like reading and looking at a book like,
In fact, I would like your help, Sir.
Oops, sorry. Just kind of like shot the screen to the side on my screen.
I'd like your help, Honorable Soriv. Sorry. I'd like to request your help, Honorable Soriv.
What can I do with you? I thought that you were coming to help us, but
Well, I imagine you understand that a lot, and the capabilities that humans have to offer in this endeavor against the Sahagin, right? You seem an intelligent individual.
I advised the Queen, so I would hope so. I am the oldest, the oldest member of the tribe left.
And so certainly you understand that we as humans could offer you a great deal of weaponry and support in the battlefield.
Ah, yes.
With a little...
The weapons we're training with them now. We're still awaiting the next shipment, though.
Yes. Well, Sol Marsh, where I come from, could offer further weapons so that all of your soldiers are armed and prepared for the Sahagin threat, as well as we would be, of course, willing to offer our own helping hand in the matter. We're competent adventurers, after all. Heroes, even.
So you would give us weapons as well as the weapons that we've already paid for?
I suppose so, yes. I don't know who you purchased any other weapons from, but I could offer you the weapons that we work with.
Humans, your folk. We arranged deal to have them shipped to us.
There are multiple groups of humans, just as there are multiple groups of lizard men.
Ah, yes.
And lizard folk.
And you backstab some, and you keep some of them close, and they're the ones you want to backstab.
more delicate than that, but
Explosia has nothing to say there.
It sounds
would also
familiar.
like to. Yeah, thanks for this. Like, we're also willing to offer our own personal aid. Me, my companion, and several of our other friends that are willing to help out on the battlefield,
Ah, so
as well as cultural
fighters.
knowledge change.
Knowledge?
Although I am an advisor, but I also am gifted in the arcane, so I can help on the battlefield.
One of those knowledge seekers. Yes, I've read about those too, and points to the book on Tenser's book.
Yeah. Actually, you have Tenser's book.
Pretty good fellows.
She's like the one that I had. She was actually also by Tenser. He's quite a very knowledgeable mage himself.
Honestly, I wish there were more people like more of those kind of knowledge fellows too. They're good people.
So, what else could you provide to the cultural belongings of this civilization? More books?
Well,
Looks at
I
Asteria,
can
like
obviously
raises
ask-
eyebrow.
She's like, I actually work in a library as well, where I have plenty of resources at my disposal for culture of ours.
When you say
I could
library,
offer-
does not understand what that is.
Think of it as a place that we store knowledge. It's shelves upon shelves of books, and we have all of our knowledge categorized alphabetically.
His very aged eyes start getting bigger and glazed over when you say shelves upon shelves of books.
She starts categorizing the different areas of the books that she knows of, like, this one's on military, this one's on like naval, this is on like magic, this is on all different types of genres.
I also have a host of literature at my own abode, and could offer some of my own personal books to your collection.
We'd be willing to trade all of our knowledge as well to yours.
Well, like looks at you like, well, all of our knowledge.
And that would be a bribe. Yes, that's what's mentioned in the book. Bribes.
Wait, question. Not all the knowledge. I mean, we're not giving the entire library.
Well, I mean, I could tell you about most of them. I've read every book that was in my library, and I know all of them.
Bribes to personal collection. That's how it's done, yes.
Some people do bribes. More of this is me wanting to exchange information with you.
Explosi is distressed about how good this lizard man is catching on.
It's like,
it seems out of his nature, but it seems, again, this is how he's learnt diplomacy. This is how he's learnt human diplomacy from shifty diplomats.
The worst part is these are the two least shifty characters here.
And
we're
he
just like,
doesn't
we're
seem
just trying to be
shifty at all.
friendly.
He doesn't come across as
We're trying to
shifty
be
at all.
friendly.
No.
We're like talking about like this like espionage and whatnot, but like we're just having a straight conversation. Like, hey, we'll offer you this. Okay, that sounds good. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So we'll get down to the role. What are you offering to the lines or actually to him personally?
Him personally?
Yes.
I am willing to basically offer my knowledge in exchange for his knowledge,
I'll offer a choice selection of books as well.
and maybe even I'll offer time of my own to go back and talk with them and exchange culture differences.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned weaponry.
Yes,
And us on the
weaponry,
battlefield.
but that's a general thing. Like
Yeah. Yes. But he also mentioned that he's late on the current shipment.
The one thing Explosive would want to bring up is she wants to know if the roll's successful. I guess we should roll first.
Yeah. So
Which you roll advantage because I.
Yes.
the typo, you finally get to do the full negotiation, do the roll when you're the damn face of the group.
Yep. Okay, let's see if I can screw it up.
And for Fox near
Oh,
zero,
jeez.
you really would have failed on this discussion.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
picking the right ones to go to.
The second you said advisor, I was like, oh, he's knowledge. I'm going there because that's books.
Yeah.
No, you'll find out later.
Oh, no.
23.
I mean, what?
Yeah. Well done.
Got 23 and 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explosive will also ask, but
So clearly you understand that this would be a valuable relationship. However, we do need to convince the other lizard men and the...
what are they called? The angry group?
Oh, the coalinth.
The coalinth. Yes, the
Yeah.
coalinth.
We do need to convince the other lizard men and the coalins. So any information you could offer on them that might be helpful. Like, we need to speak with...
And Explosia will list... typo quickly scrolls. Okay. We need to speak
Others are
with
full
commoners,
commoners.
others, and I believe the coalinth and queen. So any information that he might have on... So first off, coalinth. Why the coalinths seem like they're interested in combat and they're brave and proud. It would seem like they'd be a good fit with the lizard men, who are also a kind of warrior tribal race. Why did they turn the queen down? Does he know?
Because he does know, and with a 23 persuasion, he does let that. Although the queen would have liked them to be the spearhead of the force, even they're too afraid of the Sahorgan, and they didn't want to be sacrificing their own warriors when others of the alliance were not sacrificing their own men and women in the front lines.
I see. That's useful information.
Now that we have a lot of them on our side, we could definitely pull a bit more weight there. Okay.
And she'll ask about what is something that's valuable to the commoners? Like, what matters to the commoners and what matters to the other lizard folk? Like, are there any like differences between their beliefs?
So the commoners, as I said, is going to be like the soldiers and the whatnot. He says that the commoners and the soldiers will follow the leadership of the group.
So we could pull. So it's good actually that we talked to them last, because now that we have the support of others, we can use that as leverage. Okay.
Or you may not need to speak to them because they're just going to follow what the people above tell them to do.
Okay. Interesting. And lastly, she will ask about the queen. Is there anything that the queen finds particularly valuable that the human society might be able to offer? He understands what the humans have to offer better than anyone else.
Also, maybe get some favor when you talk to the queen, since it's the advisor.
Yeah.
True.
He doesn't actually answer you. What he does, and he deliberately shuns Explosia right now, and turns to Exterior and says, "Now, young girl, what would be the best way to ingratiate myself with your charge? How would I be able to get best into her good graces? What gifts would she like? What gifts would..." And he's really putting it on as if an advisor's not going to let that information go to someone. and he's playing it up. He's playing it up. You can even see a small smile under his like gummed lips. That he's asking your advisor essentially the exact same thing to show that he's not going to say that.
This
She
is
gives
like
a
the
small
part.
smile, like,
Yeah, because like Asteria knows that like fluffy things.
she's
Cute.
like, I know everything, but I'm not gonna say it because this is my friend's secrets.
No, it's not even secrets. I think
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
matter of like realizing that he's trying to make this point to you,
Yes.
and then going, "Oh, I like it doesn't actually apply to Explosia. She's a freaking open book and an idiot." But I get the idea.
Yes.
The idea is there if you wouldn't tell because it's your job to keep their secrets.
Thank you.
I completely understand, and I can respect your loyalty to your queen. That would, especially after reading the book from the Ludovico family.
Sweat.
Are you gathering up your books? As you leave, are you gathering up your books or are you leaving them?
I would say she's gonna gather up them, but ask him essentially because he has the what was that one book by Tensor that he has?
I'd have to go back to it, which is a totally different area, but yes. Where's the Tensor one? Occult Properties of Gemstones by Archmage Tensor.
Ooh.
I would definitely want to offer him a trade since he's probably read that book plenty of times. I've read my books plenty of times. Because Listeria definitely has read her books multiple times just to thoroughly study them and probably has even marked them with like certain little things just to know where to go.
And yours is called The Magical Properties of Gemstones by Archmage Tensor.
Yep. She's like, before I go, would you want to trade? I wouldn't mind letting you have my book if I've already read it plenty of times and you have the other opposite book.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten to that one yet because your cat is sitting on the Bordy books, the Bordy poetry with illustrations. He looks at the title and looks at his other title and is like, match?
Yep.
I have both?
More like we trade the other one. I have the magical property ones of gemstones. You have the occult one. I would like to learn about the occult one, while you probably would want to know about the magical one as well.
But this is start of library of collection. You have multiple books by same author, and I can make a library.
Ooh, has a point.
He does have a point. Although, I mean, I'm guessing Siri's probably got plenty of backups because she's probably written them all down herself in her years of study.
Hmm.
And has got plenty of notes on everything that she would possibly need because she has hundreds of scrolls back at home.
And he rolls persuasion. Badly, unfortunately, but rolls persuasion. To try to persuade that, like, he starts library with that one.
Well, I think that's a wonderful idea, don't you, Asteria? In fact, how about I add a book of my own to your collection, and then you can add a book to his collection?
Explosia smiles.
This is me losing my knowledge, and I like my knowledge.
You know, I've happened to get a really rare book all the way from the capital city. Do you want to know how long it is, Asteria?
My inner Asteria is going, no, my knowledge. I hoard my
Oh,
books.
It's 467 pages.
Fine, but she's
Could
like,
kill a man
fine.
if you dropped it on him.
It's like she's gonna make a counteroffer of, I'll let you have this book, but could I come back and recopy the other book? I like to keep notes on every book that I've ever written with, like, or studied, but I'd like to have at least some notes on that book, or most of your collection, actually.
He agrees to that.
Cool. She's gonna then offer him the book and be like, good trade. You get my books, and I'll make notes of all of them. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm just trying to
It's
find
been
anything else
pleasure.
there.
It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Sorviv.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Did we ever introduce ourselves? I can't remember. Did we
Yes, you did.
introduce ourselves?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I couldn't remember.
Remember, you're the
I hope to
servant.
see you again. Sorviv. You're a very enlightened fellow.
I couldn't even remember our names if we didn't introduce ourselves. I was just like, my mind went blank and was just like, did we do that? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I hope we did.
So, you've spent about 6 hours in total. Actually, a bit long though with travel and whatnot. It is getting late in the day, and you do have to rest.
Yeah.
You've only had 24 hours. You've used up 6 of that, and you do have to rest.
And we know we don't have to, because we've gotten with the shamans and the advisor, who basically are like the people who are going to lead the others. So we don't have to talk to the others now. We just know that they're going to follow, most likely.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So I think the only people we have to talk with are the Coalinth and the Queen.
So just a quick question, like actually mechanical wise, is there actually a point of talking to the other guys, or because
It's up to you. They're probably the hardest ones, you would think. Well, maybe they're up there with the with at least how you're treated by the shaman, by the high priest.
Interesting.
Or they're probably even harder because they're also aggressive.
Okay.
So persuading someone that's aggressive to join an alliance, which they've already walked away from, is probably going to be a very hard thing to do.
Oh yeah, them. I was talking about the other lizard, but
The common folk?
yeah. I was asking if mechanically there's actually a reason to, or he just told us like, spoiler, you don't actually have to get them on your side. It's worthless.
There's mechanics, and I've told you some of the mechanics.
Okay.
I'm imagining like
But each
it would
group
be a
has
good
its
idea
own
to.
weight.
Yeah, I was like
Okay.
imagining it's like make us known to them that we want to be allies and be friends, but we don't really have to because they will just follow orders of whoever's at the top.
Okay.
Some things give you 5 points, some things give you 10, some 15, and some
Okay.
20. Other things give you minuses, just as a heads up.
Interesting.
So we want to
Sorvip, did you cheat us? Bastard.
Also, actually, before I think we never really asked. I don't remember if anyone asked, but we were supposed to ask about an escort to the Coalinth.
Yes, we need
Did
to
I-
ask for an escort.
Did we ever ask that? Did anyone ask this? I forgot about this.
Well, you
No,
know, there's
Explosive would ask
patrols.
for an escort.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
I was
there's patrols.
Explosive was asking some of that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. But you
We don't
also
need,
know
like,
that
a
there's
certain
patrols
escort.
that go past.
Okay.
Because you need to get patrols to get past the two gated areas. Like the whole.
So as long as we have like,
one side is gated.
okay.
Hmm.
So if we get like a patrol from like passing by the Covalent to like take us, that's technically an escort.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Good to know.
Okay. So do we want to try the Coalinth next, or do we want to try the Commoners and the other?
Well, I
feel
guess
like if
as
we're
we all
gonna
meet back
try
up.
the Covalent, I feel like we should all be there for that one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
definitely all together.
Mhm.
But I also feel like we would plan to meet up in between meeting everybody as well.
You're
Yep.
actually really close to each other, so yeah.
Yeah. So we meet up and then we discuss.
Yeah.
The first thing you see of the group is a dancing individual walking down the halls.
Exactly like that.
But you actually just
The dancing individual suddenly crashes into an illusory shield.
you act like you weren't that far away from each other. So yeah.
How'd it go, guys? Everything good?
There you go.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
So
I have extra knowledge now.
Our conversation went well as well, and we learned a little bit about the Coalinth.
I'm also helping build a library. To my very sad life, I'm building a library for other people. That means I have to give up my books.
Just so you know, we have a new lizard folk friend.
Oh, we do?
I knew you guys were good.
It's literally Hunter.
Oh.
Hunter, you're a lizard
What?
folk. Why didn't you ever tell me?
Wait, Hunter's a lizard?
I don't know what he's talking about.
He
What?
Right, Edric?
made himself look.
Oh my
Edric? We don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Wait, what?
Asteria,
Uh-huh.
didn't we read that book on lizards and they said they have, two,
These walls are
something?
interesting.
You think Hunter has...
Oh my.
Yeah.
I see.
have-
That's nice, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
ferret.
Asteria just like
You
turns
probably
really,
need to
really
go
red.
Rest or something. I don't know.
I don't want to know about that. Oh, is that? Hmm.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Hunter,
Okay.
do you have two?
Oh, God.
I have a lot of twos. I don't know.
It's very important to Asteria.
Asteria's just like turning red, just turns away. It's like, I gotta go.
50-50, yes or no?
I'm
So no, it's
just
a simple
gonna
question.
just gonna be over here.
Asteria's just gonna walk away.
Don't
this
you
way.
walk away from me!
Asteria's just like over on the other side, covering her face.
We just clearly need to get some rest. We're all tired, delirious, especially Ferret.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably get some rest, and then in the morning we can go speak to the Coalinth.
Sounds like a good idea.
Mhm.
Out of character. I'm out of support dice. And I'm not a level 5 bard, so those don't come back on a short rest.
I mean, I do have a 16 important roll left.
Wait.
Edric.
Yeah?
Good job.
Thanks.
Well, I know this whole diplomancy thing is very hard for you, so good job. You're doing awesome.
Thanks.
I thought I was doing the
Trying.
worst, honestly.
Help.
And Explosive gives you a hug. And as she does so, restore up to 5 hit points.
She cares about you.
Nice.
As Explosive unconsciously heals you. Do. Does not realize she's a paladin.
and because she won't hug Ferret. Because Ferret's the only one actually
Right.
both.
Right.
No, I'm good.
It's okay. We don't care.
We don't know him like that yet.
I'm sorry, I don't know you like that.
New phone, who dis?
Sorry.
All right, guys.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm into the real bad boys here.
I meant sorry.
We're actually. This is actually a performance review, and we wanted to have a shout out afterwards.
Edit. Ander on my phone. I had a secondary phone number.
I've got bits of your dancing person all over the place.
Yeah, his hat is gone.
Karsh is just like,
There's bits of
I'm
that.
going to use this, and I'm going to kill you with it later.
I just found another bit of it elsewhere.
We're just gonna like find an encounter
It's
with all
a-
of these guys, and there's just gonna be a swarming us.
It's a magical rune that when you touch it, you have to dance.
Oh no.
But I can't
So-
dance. I know you can.
Okay, so you're going to rest and then going to speak to the the evil ones in the morning.
Explosia will talk to Edric in the morning, and she'll like pep him up just in case, like, if there is a duel, would you be willing to do it? She doesn't. She hopes there isn't, but if there is, do you think you'd up to the challenge?
Me?
Yeah.
I miss a lot.
It's true. It's
Where I feel I could stand my ground. Hitting things is not my forte.
Hey, Karsh, overnight, can I go ahead and heal back up?
yes.
It's your hit dice.
So I'll put you back into your rooms.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, that's a good 12 hit points. Get me back
Oh,
to
God.
40.
I think my birthday present's late.
Yeah,
No,
I think I'm good there.
That book Explosia was talking about was literally what she got you for your birthday.
Aw, that's sweet.
Actually, no,
She's
because
gonna
of
have to find something new now.
because of the dancing person. Hunter's by himself for the dancing person. Because of the dancing person, yes.
But I'm with Ferret.
Yes,
Where the
because
heck
Hunter
are
had
we?
the dancing person.
Yeah. You guys don't want to be in here. I'm slowly morphing him into all sorts of terrible things. Nobody wants to see this.
Oh god.
This is gonna be like- Am I gonna get like snuggle hugged to death?
Oh gosh, yeah. I forgot. You
At this point-
were reminded that Explosia is a freaking, like, she looks like a princess, and then by the morning, like, she just like punched you in the face at least 3 times at night.
Oh my god, what? She's an Amazonian going, here, give me snoo snoo. And I'm just over here like, no, stay on that side. Go away.
And like the worst part is, a sleepy Explosia is attracted to body warmth.
Oh god. Well, you know, Siri doesn't have much of that.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Explosia just says, by the way,
Asteria,
Mhm.
when I return to the noble courts, I'd be happy to have you as my advisor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you're really intelligent, and I really value and respect your opinion. And if I'm going to be completely honest, there aren't many friends that you can trust in the noble courts.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm honored to help. I'm actually really honored. That's like the coolest thing ever, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's probably a bit more of a. I almost would consider it a punishment.
Or
I
a
don't know, I
suicide
mean-
mission.
Being advisor?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Well, I'm
And I
glad you
mean-
have such an optimistic view on it. My
I mean,
family,
that's true.
the Ludovico side of my family, is good at politics. Unfortunately, that also means everybody knows we're supposed to be good at politics. So, you know,
Makes sense.
it's
I'm really not that worried.
pause.
If somebody really wants to touch my books or anything, you know, I'm just gonna probably set them on fire. It's fine.
fair enough.
Eyes sparkling and stars in her eyes, just like, yep,
I'll make sure you have an amulet of proof against poison too.
that'll work.
It's essential in the noble courts.
I'll make sure to always make my own tea and make sure I always do my own stuff too.
Okay. Good night.
Bye. And please don't try and snuggle me to death.
No promises.
So, how's the night between Ferret and Edric in the small
my.
cell in the darkness?
Oh.
Well, Edric probably would have just like sat up against the wall and
And
Closed
I'm
his
against
eyes.
the opposite wall.
They don't have beds in this, do they?
Just like,
Good thing the girls are together. They have so many layers of clothing and all sorts of things.
She just
Well-
pulls more fluff out of her bag.
so we had a better day today. Success. Great.
Emergency fluff.
Well, that is a lot of input. I'm glad you feel the same.
well, we'll say this. You did a little better today than you normally do.
Hey, you know, it's one of those things. I'm a little rusty. I've been, dodging people for a while, and it's been a little bit rusty. I just got to get back in the loop, and from there we're good.
I think sometimes it's just kind of knowing when to not push things a little too far.
Well, if you don't push them, as far as you can, you're never gonna get what you can.
Or you end up
You may not always win, but if you push it that little bit much further, you may get a little bit more out of it.
maybe sometimes.
Yeah. But you never know until you try, right?
Yeah, but sometimes after you try once and maybe a second time, or maybe after you try a third time and it's still not working, you gotta learn at some point.
All right. They'll learn.
Well, either way, nice job.
Yep, you too. And I'm just silent after that.
Just it's the difference between the three rooms is this: the girls are cuddling up and being all cheery and chat throughout the night until they fall asleep finally, and there's lots of "Hey, are you awake? Are you still awake? Yes," and then like that will be
Oh no,
going
he
for
cut
a long
out.
time.
No. Okay,
No.
he's back.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of the "Hey, are you awake?" and then they'll start talking. Then they'd hear quiet. Then "Oh, are you awake?" And
Slow giggles.
you've
A lot
got
of girly giggles.
Hunter in the middle.
Oh no, he
With-
cut. He cut out again.
Yeah.
Hunter in the middle with just playing with the illusions all night long, and you can hear him playing with them all night long,
Oh my god.
and going do and singing and just being merry. I think this is Hunter when he's sober. It's really disturbing.
I like how he gets magic, and pretty much the similarity to Asteria when she first got magic is, I'm gonna constantly use this.
And then
my God.
the tension for the boys, for Ferret and for Edric, of that, I don't like you either. And it's just like, it's the, I don't like you. It's like, really? But why? I'm so lovable. That's the kind of tension, and just silence for almost the entire night. As you said, one's in one corner, perched up against, the other's in the other, perched up against the corner, and just total darkness and almost total silence throughout the night. And
Love
just,
story waiting to happen.
yeah, that's how we're going to end our scene. That's how we're going to end the show for the week. Because
I ship it. I'm shipping it now. I'm gonna go write fanfiction. Okay, goodbye everyone.
The fan fiction is being penned by these two young girls right here, right now.
I'm just thankful that we took the weapons away from those two. And then
There's gonna be weapons involved.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been bloodshed. It's just,
Oh god, stop me. There's a lot of sword play.
I don't think either of us would have gotten. Yep.
I'm so tempted to do ventriloquism and make Hunter's illusion talk to him.
But again, you can't hear much through the walls. So we're going to end the scene there, end the show there with the idea of those are the 3 cells, and those are the 3 situations that we find ourselves in, and the personality conflicts. Which, if there's no conflict, then it's less entertaining for everybody watching. And I like the conflicts between this party, like how the dynamics work. Anyway, so thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget, if you can do the exclamation point drowning, you can enter yourself into the draw for the giveaway of Descent into Avernus, the new Baldur's Gate D&D game. It's really good from what I've seen. I'm not reading it myself. I don't have a copy, but I've seen the character creation. I know. Someone else here does as well with the fancy copy. Ooh. But the character creation looks amazing. It's really well thought out, and it just gets like you're not in a good place, and it just gets worse and worse, and it turns very heavy metal, and just looks really, really well done. So. We're giving away, if you took exclamation point drowning into chat within the next couple of minutes, because we're going to be finishing the show. You'll enter yourself in. We're going to be in the drawing tomorrow actually for the next show. But if you join us for next show as well, you can get into again and get another point into that draw. So that's awesome. But for now, we're going to do our outros and do our bits and pieces, and then do a raid to someone who's doing role playing or someone I'll find while we're doing the outros. So we'll start in the opposite order with Nir.
Oh, hi. I guess we're gonna go backwards. Hi everyone, I'm Nir. I play Asteria, our knowledge seeker, and sometimes Firestarter. You know, it happens. Today's been a very interesting episode, and I'm actually kind of glad to finally be back after. Yeah, it's been like a month or so for me now. Today was definitely a fun episode. A lot of RP and comedy and diplomatic things that I'm really not that great at. So, awesome! Let's hope that we don't get ourselves killed next week against this Coalinth group.
Okay.
Hey, next person.
Yeah.
Edric.
So,
I'm
Up there.
Capri Sunny D. Your friendly neighborhood young initiate. And
Our Jesus.
or novitiate, yeah. I can take the hits, but I can't dish it.
pretty much.
At least for now. But yeah, this was a fun episode. It's interesting to see how the party is now that there is a little bit of, I guess, character conflict. So come hang out next week and see if it gets any better, because we've had Ferret for three episodes, 4 episodes.
4. No, 3.
3.
3.
Yeah, 3. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how he fits in,
Dare you forget Anders so quickly?
Oh.
Who? Trust me,
You
if
mean
anyone
Dave?
here remembers him.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember that guy? He died
Dave,
like a
right?
year ago. Yeah, Dave.
But yeah, we'll see how it works out. Come
Yeah.
back next week and come hang out tomorrow and do exclamation point drowning in the chat tomorrow and get another chance to win
Oh no.
if you missed it.
Tomorrow's going to be a different entry condition.
Oh, correct.
Yes.
But come by tomorrow and figure out what the word is tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm Arcade Fox or Fox. I play Ferret, and Ferret is proving that he can use diplomacy. Also, Thank you, Roll20 gods, for the amazing roll all night tonight. We needed it. Yeah, we will see, because Explosia pretty okay with Ferret. Hunter seems pretty okay with Ferret. Syria really doesn't know Ferret all that well. And Edric is the bump on a log that I just got to get there and, work him out, So,
Phrasing.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
We don't need any more fanfic.
Work him out. Uh huh.
yeah,
That's so.
Zero?
Yeah.
This plate armor is not going anywhere.
They're
I'll
writing
tell
this
you that.
material for me.
Yeah. So, I'm Zero. I play Hunter. Thank you for joining. Hunter is been exploring with his illusions. He seems to be enjoying them more and more as time goes on. And also, everybody remember, if you think it might be Tuesday, just assume it's Tuesday. Just show up.
Kind of helps, yes.
Mhm.
And welcome back. It's good to have you back as well. Slayers, I don't know.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I know. Typo?
I just killed a spider, so I could hit that at least.
Actually, before you go,
You're doing better than you did in the mansion.
four crits, and I think I counted, 4 criticals from the players tonight, with very few rolls, and 8 rolls which got over 20. Not including the double rolls where you had 23 and 23.
Insane.
So yeah. Typo.
Thank you. Hi guys, Typo here. Hope you enjoyed the session. We didn't kill anybody this session, but who knows about next one? We're going to be talking to the those angry fish people, so we'll see what happens. This has been Explosia Lulu, and this is me signing out. Peace.
Awesome. So as always, my name is Karsha Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave. We've been using Syrinscape for our amazing audio, and we're going to have a little bit more of it as we go out. So check them out. They are really, really cool. It is September, so it's half price tier 1 subs for only a little bit more time. So if you want to support the channel, if you want to have access to our amazing emotes, the Hide, the Flaming Goblin, and I think the Ripped is all of our... I don't know which ones are tier 1 emotes, actually.
Here, I'll show you.
I just can't remember, because I have access to them all, of course.
Friendly Fire, Hide, Heart.
And Heart. So that's our tier 1s, and you get access to the others as you go up higher tiers. We're trying to unlock more emotes to get we can get as many subscribers as we can. We can unlock more emotes, which means tier 1 subscribers can get access to more emotes and more pretty cute little goblins, which you can use in other shows. So it's really, really cool. We're going to be doing the giveaway for bonus tomorrow. The exclamation point drowning is not going to work tomorrow because it's all about fire in that campaign, and they're hating it, and I'm loving it. They were all saying yesterday, like last week, that if you do anything about fire, I am going to jump through this monitor and I'm going to kick you up. And I'm like, you're not going to enjoy this then, because I already pre-planned this. So we've got a fire witch. Hey, cool. That's a thing. So check out the Rusty Daggers tomorrow. And next week is school holidays, so we will be doing our role-playing shows. Our Let's Plays may or may not be on. So we're going to adjust our schedule for that, but our role-playing shows should be on because it's school holidays, and I will have my little goblin running around my feet. So we'll do a raid soon after the bits and pieces to a new channel. They look like they got really good overlays, and they're doing Roll20, doing D&D, and they look like they're having fun. So that's who we're going to raid. It's going to be I can't even pronounce the name, Sharita 14, but wait for the raid commands because we will come through with that after our credits roll. So thank you everyone, thank you for the donations, thanks for everyone, bye bye.
Farewell.
Bye.
Yeah.